6. Man Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, potentially. Welcome in, everybody, for the last stream until TBD. The time is upon us, y'all. I appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in today, sharing a little time out of your day. Hang out with me here at the V1 HQ number 2. Soon to be looking for that V1 HQ number 3. Appreciate y'all. Again, thank you so much. I wanted to do something a little bit different for the last flight, but then you know what? I said screw it. The last time we left Dallas, we flew the Fenix 320 with CFM engines, and now we're taking the IAE Fenix 320 back. When we left on the last stream, I didn't know what the future held. It's been a long year. It's been a lot of excitement. There's been a lot of interesting things that have happened. But nevertheless, the show must go on, so we're going to wrap it up here. The move is in 2 days. I will be packing up the sim tonight, and that's it. So thank you all for tuning in. Aaron's in the house. Good to see you. Aaron, Balinky, Mysterious Mr. T, Aviator Nick, Zach, Lewine, Tower at Ray, the Joe Planes that almost hit me last night on our Duke Kern Valley flying. Absolutely wild. Wrong side sim in the house. Good to see you, my man. I just saw your text message. I need you to send me one of those fancy schmancy thingy-majiggers that you got set up. That thing looks awesome, man. It's working good, I assume. Good to see you, Wrong Side. Also, Wrong Side, I got to send you a message about a little situation I had 2 days ago with a dispatcher. A good situation, honestly. I think we did a good job as a crew. We all worked together, and we had the best possible outcome. But I'll hit you up. Subaru is in the house. Duke Katari, Brady Thompson, Johnny, Corey, Gordo, Bill's Mafia, Cam, MD-80. Cam, I wanted to fly an MD-80 on this flight, but I haven't flown it in so long, and I was rusty. I just didn't have the time to do last-minute MD-80 flight. I would need some time to practice. But good to see you, man. Agent Batu gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Appreciate the support, Agent Batu. Very, very kind of you. The show must go on, chat. Let's go ahead and get this last stream underway, shall we? AJ Funari in the house. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Rafael Pisciatiano Latau. Rafael. Nevertheless, man, good to see you, dude. Thank you for joining and becoming a member here. A private pilot on the channel. Cheers, man. Thanks for tuning in. Actually, I was one before that. I landed right after the Messerschmitt. Okay, Joe Plains. Well, somebody, I don't know who it was, in our Duke stream last night. It was absolutely wild. Flew into Kern Valley, and then we had a little fly-in, unscheduled fly-in. Apparently we had a conga line of like 6 piston Dukes, our turbine Dukes, and 1 Messerschmitt that is no longer with us. He did not make the approach. But anyway, 250-hour MD-80. Yeah, Lightspeed, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. We're going to watch, on this flight, we're going to watch a Green Dot Aviation in-flight entertainment video with an American MD-80, though. So I'll make it up for you that way. Problem is I didn't have time to set up my in-flight entertainment before we went live here, so we'll have to do that on the fly. But it's all right. I've been loading the truck all day, and I got a lot more to load. We have, apparently now they want to do the walkthrough at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm like, but the movers don't even get here till noon, so why would you want to do that? So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, and now we got to get everything else. We're just scrambling. So we're going to see if we can squeak this stream in here before I pack it up. Let's fire it up. This stream was insane yesterday. Zach Lewine, I know, man, it was. It was pretty wild, wasn't it? A whole lot of fun, though. I had so much fun last night. Thank you all that partook in the piston fly-in last night. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Cam says you're a type-rated MD-80 pilot. Dude, I believe it, man. I'm going to have to be coming to you for questions. You know what? It's not even the MD-80 so much that is a challenge. I just forget how to... I don't know how to do all of the, like, 1930s tech of setting up the sim brief to import the weights and all that stuff. It's so, like, FS9. It's so old. It's so ported. It's so lame. They need to update that way that you load weights in the manager, and I don't know. The Mad Dog client nonsense. It's like, come on, man. This is not P3D, Leonardo. That's all right, though. We'll fly that bird later once we get back to Texas. How about that? How about the first stream back? Well, we'll probably have to fly an Airbus because the channel will probably be dead by then. But after that, we'll fly the MD-80 stream shortly after we find a new HQ. BKG Blue K Fleece says, when you keep seniority, yes, you keep your company seniority, but what changes is your in-base seniority. So your seniority, your master seniority number, is company-wide, and that doesn't change unless you retire or quit, or that's pretty much it. You have that same seniority number, and it will change as people retire above you or quit above you. That's the way you move up. Now, your base seniority, that's all relative. You could be super senior in one base, and you could be super junior in another base. It's just how it goes. Typically, the junior bases are the sucky bases. No one wants to live there, or the cost of living is high. And like my buddy, you can straight up get captain slot Newark if you want. You can go straight to wide body in East Coast because no one wants to live there. But then, if you want to try to do it in Denver, good luck. It'd be 20 years before you could hold it. So base seniority is very different, but your master seniority is going to stay the same. Don't forget, we get that Phantom tomorrow. I know, Digital Merc, of course, we get the Phantom, right? The Phantom releases when the sim's going to be packed up. That's just how it goes. And I can almost guarantee y'all will have the 777 by the end of this week. So, unfortunately, I will not be taking part in the 777 release party. So, oh well. John, thank you so much for the 27 months of support, my man. Yes, indeed. Headed back to Texas in 2 days, man. House is sold. Well, not technically. We close tomorrow. So fingers crossed everything goes well, because we're all packed up and ready to go, and we really want to close now. But, yes, headed back to Texas, my man. Great state of Texas. I can't wait. Georgia's been good. We had quite the experience today. We found ourselves a taxidermist. We're going to mount a raccoon that we have eliminated from attacking our chickens, and we're going to take it back to Texas with us, because I said, you know what, it'd be kind of fun to take a piece of Georgia with us back to Texas. And what better, what else says country out in the country in Georgia than taking a coon home? So It's going to be funny. Delta Tango, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. If you pick up a membership from Delta Tango, make sure you say thank you. Very kind of you, sir. All right, we're going to finish our overhead flow here. We're going to get the fire test 1, fire test 2. Can you stream from Starbucks? No, I don't think I can stream from Starbucks. Now, the thing is, I don't believe that the internet at the house that's set up right now is going to be streamable. I'm going to pause the alert box here for a little bit. I can't guarantee it, but I don't believe it will be streamable. I will give it a shot. But the good news is it's uploadable. I can upload content, so you will still be receiving some content from me in the future. I just don't think I'll be able to go live until I secure a new HQ, which means that it's going to be some time. I got to find an office space. I got to go through that whole process of getting another office and making sure it has proper internet, yada yada, and it's just going to be a pain. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. But I'll be in the Discord, and if you're bored tomorrow, jump in the Discord voice if you're bored on Wednesday, because I got a 15-hour drive in a U-Haul that's extremely loud, and I'm going to be putting on my noise canceling and my Aviator headset, and it's got Bluetooth, so maybe I'll jump in the Discord. We'll see. No AT&T fiber at the new base. No fiber at the other house, man. Unfortunately, just Starlink. So I don't think I can stream on Starlink. E to the D 7773. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat, man. Turned 40 and said, "I'm never moving myself again." Godspeed, Captain. E to the D. I'm right there with you, man. I think this is going to be the last one for a while because we've moved I feel like we've moved 5 times in 5 years. I mean, it may be more like 5 times in 6 years, but we've been moving a lot. And we're about done. We are about done. So let's go ahead and get this flight plan here. Looks like I've got a PDC. We're going up to 340. That's beautiful. But E to the D, thanks again for your $5 super chat. Very kind of you, sir. All right, Atlanta is departing to the east, so we can expect Occasion 2 departure. Stinger. I don't know which ones the Cajuns are going off of, but let's go ahead and take a wild guess here. We're going to go 8 left for the Cajun, which means we'll probably get something out. Cajun 2 Stinger transition, we'll insert that, and then going into DFW, I believe we're on the Berry, doubling checking here. Why does it do that? So yeah, we're on the Berry 2 off Union, so let's load up DFW arrival. I don't know if they're landing in what direction. Let's just plan on 17 center. Well, real life, 17 center is under construction, right? No, 17 right's under construction. Probably get 17 left, but I don't want a taxi, so we're going to set 17 center because it's Sim World. Berry 2 coming off the Union transition. Man, seeing those fixes again just makes me excited. Secondary flight plan, we'll do a quick and dirty Atlanta return. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have to do a return. If we pop an engine on this flight and have to return to Atlanta, I'll just take it as a sign and we'll just stay here. How about that? Gustavo, thank you so much, man, for 21 months of support. I appreciate you, sir. He says V1 will be uploading X-Plane 12 videos from Texas. Oh, man, I don't know. Gustavo. I tell you what, man, I almost did X-Plane today because the DFW scenery is so mid. I could have just done an X-Plane flight from Atlanta, to Dallas in X-Plane in the evening, and it might have worked out, but I don't know. I said screw it. The Fenix is just so much more. It just looks so much good. So good, man. So much good. I've been out in the sun all day, y'all. You're going to have to bear with me. Progress page here. We're going to put the ATL in there. Boom, boom. And we're going to come over to SimBrief, ground ceviches, mass and balances. Oh, my goodness. We got a full boat headed back to Texas. That is pretty realistic. Every flight I've been on, Atlanta, Dallas, is always pretty full. Good luck trying to commute that. All right, fueling truck is coming. This Atlanta scenery is not awesome. It's very unoptimized. Cajun Sid is the one you'd expect at MSY. I know, wrong side, right? I always think that. Well, I've done the you do the Cajun to MSY. I do that. Back to the X-Plane videos. Landing 1/8's awesome. Good deal. You're going to be commuting. Fireflyer, no, not as next month. My entire schedule is all Dallas trips, which is good. So, I like every airline's different. Our contract allows us to drop all the way down to 0 and then pick up at a base. So I was able to drop all of my awarded trips and pick up all Dallas trips. And that was kind of why we did the stream yesterday up and down the West Coast. My first Dallas trip back is, I don't remember the exact way, but I know we go to San Jose, I know we do San Diego, and I know I do Burbank. I do all 3 of those in 2 days. So That's why I had to refresh my memory on the flight sim yesterday, because I really haven't flown out west. And I mean, you do. The trips out of Atlanta are a little bit different. I feel like the West Coast trips are more, Central crews do a lot of the West Coast stuff. East Coast crews just do a lot of the East Coast and Latin America and out to the Caribbean and stuff. So I haven't been out west in a while. I just did a pork loin on the camshaft. Ooh, Scott. Those pork loins, man, they'll sneak up on you. They are delicious on the camshaft. I think that was the first thing I cooked on the camshaft was a pork loin, and my wife was like, wow, if this is that good, I can only imagine what else you're going to cook. So the pork is a staple. Hopefully be flying my trip to Vegas on June 1st. Let's see. I don't have, let's say June. Wait, is next month June? April. What month are we in? May? Oh, shoot. Is the expo next month? June 1st, Brett, you're going to Vegas. I'm not flying on June 1st, I can tell you that. I got the whole first week of June off. I will not be flying. I got the whole first week of June off. I fly in the middle of the month mostly, and then I'm off towards the end of the month. Take a couple weeks vacation, probably do something for the 4th of July. Hope the move goes well. V1, see you when you return. Fubar, thank you so much, man, for the 48,000 months of support. Very kind of you. I know you've been around the channel a very long time, and I appreciate it. Each and every single month, man. We'll see you on the other side, dude. I'm going to Flight Sim Expo next month with my Civil Air Patrol Squadron. Nice, AFO. I was Squadron 302. Deer Valley. Squadron 302. Is that even still a squadron in Civil Air Patrol? I've been in the Civil Air Patrol thing for a while. I smoked some oxtails. Ooh, then braised them on my pit boss. Oxtails are defo slept on. Ew. That sounds good, BKG Blueface. Ari, no worries, says I haven't been able to join recently, but been busy with school. I just passed my CFII. Onwards to multi. Hey, Ari372, that is awesome stuff, man. Congrats on getting the CFII done. Enjoy the multi. You've definitely passed the hump, my friend. It's all downhill from there, dude. Congratulations. Daniel Downing coming in with a $10 super chat, man. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Daniel says, been watching the streams for almost 2 years. When I learned that I might get to fly the 320 from my first jet. Tomorrow I start my type training. I feel a lot better from watching the videos. Daniel Downing. Hey, man, that is fantastic, dude. Well, congratulations. And you're going to love the Airbus. Enjoy it. And thank you so much for being a member, supporting the channel, and all of the above, man. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to fire up the APU because it's toasty in here. So we're going to get the APU cooking. And it looks like fueling is almost done. So as soon as the fueling is done, we'll finish up the box. We'll get our squawk code in there. We'll get the, we got our mini FCU, actually. I can set it right now. Top altitude out of here is maintain 10,000 feet. So 10,000 is set on the mini FCU. Liam Arnold, your Squadron 302 Deer Valley? Nice, dude. Oh, yeah. I often wonder whatever happened to the dudes that were there when I was there. I mean, it was a long time ago. I've tried looking them up on, like, Facebook and stuff. Pretty sure one of them is an Army Ranger now, or was. I think he's retired. I think I did find him. You'll love it as long as everything isn't in op. There you go. All right, the Southwest catering trucks are pulling out. The AP is spooling up. Let's go to Texas, y'all. Should have had someone make a U-Haul livery. Delta Tango. Dude, that's pretty funny. I'm surprised we don't have any U-Haul liveries for Microsoft Flight Sim. That'd be pretty funny. All right, nav accuracy upgraded. We're going to go here. We're going to go to the init B page. Our fueling is not done yet. We'll go ahead and clear that Cat 2 message. That should leave here soon. Catering service is completed. The chrono is on for our 3-minute cooldown. We got 10,000 on the initial altitude. Squawk code out of here is 2030. 2030 on the squawk code. Everything looks good down there. We have a company massagey. Let's come over here and get the prelim load sheet out of the way. Yep, ERJ simulations. I sure am on Wednesday. All right, prelim load sheet is accepted. Magic Barrel ref key says it's 3000. We have information Oscar for departure. Looks like we're going to call contact ground north end of ramp. There is no ground on. Jax, New York, Chicago, Atlanta approach. We're probably going to have to talk to Atlanta on 3347 here on the radio. 3347. This is where I need wrong side Sims radio panel. I want an Airbus radio panel. I don't want a Boeing one though. Wrong side. Either way, I think I might just get that SATEC one. 3347. There we go. And we're gonna wait because this is live. We'll send that to McDo at the end. We're still taking on gas. 15.3. How much gas are we taking on board this thing? We still pumping gas out there? He sure is. Looks like someone's pushing back.
Oscar 1600, are you waiting on people or are you ready to go?
No, we can go ahead. Boss, we'll beat the rush.
We'll beat the rush.
1600, roger.
8 ride is active.
7 Echo Romeo, radar contact 7 miles southwest of...
Alright, we'll kill the radio for now until we get out of here. Ianu with a $10 super chat. Very kind of you. Appreciate that. Best of luck with the move. Hope it all goes smoothly and you can get back on the streaming soon. Kern Valley spotting needs to be repeated. Ionis or Ianu. Hey, my man, we're going to do a Kern Valley reunion when streaming is reactivated. I can guarantee that. We'll do a reunion Kern Valley flying because that was so much fun. And Fud Life dropping a $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Very kind, sir. Says coffee funds for the U-Haul drive. Definitely going to need that, Fud Life. Appreciate you, man. 8 right and 9 left, allegedly. Why are they departing the outboards? Try not to push into Delta today. I will try not to. All right, 2:42. We got 20 seconds. Might have to turn down external airplanes. It was a busy day here on the ramp. Let's load it up and go. Does GSX guys wear jackets in the wintertime? I think they wear jackets all the time. Just got those 2 super chats again. Thanks again, Ionis and Fudlife. Appreciate you both. Thank you. Flying with Nico, that's you pushing? Alright, man. Give it a full set and get out of here. Hot Atlanta hasn't seen so many Americans and they don't know what to do with themselves. Alright, that's been about 3 minutes. Yes, it has. APU bleed is coming on the line. We'll leave the APU connected. Looks like the refueling is done, so we put 18.5. Goodness, why do we have so much gas? Is it really that long of a flight? 2 hours? Rip. Nobody got time to be streaming for 2 hours. Fuel pump takes are coming on. That's coming on. We'll disconnect you. We're going to crank these down. Whoa. We're going to go max cold. We're going to freeze everybody out. We'll go high flow, even though it's high flow right now, but after engine start, we'll go high flow because we got a full boat. We got 180 people on board. Maddie K dropping the 5 gifted memberships. Maddie K, appreciate you, man. Very, very kind. Thank you so much for the support, dude. Appreciate you. If you get that membership this month, that's consider yourself lucky because there'll probably be some members-only content and some Discord content only. So appreciate you, Maddie K. Synfaxi Rising also dropping the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Appreciate the love, y'all. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Team Green all around here. Turk in the U.S. is in the house. Turk in the U.S. Good to see you, man. Do you think you'd pick up another type rating at this point, like an A220? PAX 217, man. Look, I'll fly any airplane that gives me the schedule and quality of life that I want. That's it. For me and for a lot, I'm not going to speak for every airline pilot, but generally speaking, everybody I know, we just bid airplanes that give us the quality of life we want. You don't just, unless you have like a super high need, like desire to fly an airplane and you go through your career and you want to get typed on it, then that's, I think that I don't know anybody that's done that. Even one of my closest friends, all he ever wants to do is fly 777 ever since I've met him, known him, went to flight school together. He's like, I want to fly 777, So he got on with the Airbus, upgraded captain, didn't like the trips, bid over to the 737, liked the trips better. He could hold the 777, but he doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to do the trips. So he just does 737 home base. He's like, maybe I'll do a 777 later. But It's all about your quality of life for a lot of us. There are some guys that want, I mean, they may want that quality of life. They may want that long haul flying. They may want to be doing the international stuff. More power to them. Someone's got to do it. My buddy did say wide body is, at his seniority level anyway, he said wide body is airline cheat code. This is just two of my friends absolutely love it. I don't know if it's just me, but after finally doing my first couple flights in the Fenix, coming from the Flightbox, it feels kind of floaty on landing. Have you experienced anything similar? Man, every time I land the Fenix, it feels different, dude. I smashed it into San Diego, absolutely greased it into Burbank. I don't know. I will tell you this. So if you look at the history of the Fenix updates, before this last update, there was a flare mode, right? And then they said it was too aggressive. I personally liked it. They then changed it to this mode and made it more floaty, I think. I just wish that whatever they did from the last update to this update, whatever value they changed, I think if they cut it in half would have been the optimum setting, you know? Because I swear sometimes I smash this bird and I'm like, I'm flaring and I smash it and then sometimes it just floats. The Fenix is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, you know? Migs, thank you so much for the $7 super chat as well. Migs, very, very kind of you. If you want just tuned in, where's the next adventure taking you? Good luck and all the best with the move, Captain. Hey, Migs, I appreciate that. Very kind of you for that super chat. And you also dropped 10 gifted memberships out of the gate as well. Migs, thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate all of the support and all the love. Migs, the next adventure is taking us back home to the great state of Texas. And we're gonna take it one step at a time. So first step, get the family back out there, get the move, get settled, get our roots spread back out, and you know, just get on the right track. That's the plan. Not that Atlanta's been bad. It's just there were things that we had thought were going to happen when we moved here that never really panned out, and it got to the point where it was like, well, let's just break it down as simple as we can. Where do we want to raise our family? And, you know, I'm from Texas. Like, we got more connections there. And, like, you know, you build connections over time here, and I get that. But looking long-term, like, career-wise and just everything, Texas was the better fit. And I literally wish I could take the house, the property. I wish I could take everything here, just pop it right back over in Texas. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes. So, yeah, we're going to head back and we'll go from there. Agent Batu dropping another 5 gifted memberships. Very kind, Agent Batu. Thank you so much, man, for the support. Appreciate you. Man, everyone's green today. Everybody is turning green. You guys are so awesome. I can't thank y'all enough for the support. V1 Nation, Best Nation. You guys are all just so awesome. Thank you. V1, have you seen King of the Hill? If you like Texas, you like the show. Have I seen King of the Hill, Raul? King of the Hill was on TV when I was a kid. My dad watched King of the Hill. Yeah, I have seen King of the Hill, Raul. Only thing Texas does wrong is football teams. Hey, now, them fighting worse, even though you might be right. All right, here we go. Everybody's on board. External power is disconnected, and we don't need a call for push. 3347 is in the box. We have our final load sheet. Let's go ahead and accept that, and we are going to get this show on the road. Load sheet accepted. Full boat. Atlanta to DFW. Dismiss, we're going to send to McDo. That is successful. We're going to go over to perf takeoff data. 8 right, huh? I'm thinking it's going to be 8 left. Am I crazy? Oh no, 8 right is the proper. Yeah, it is 8 proper. Yeah, sync right. Yeah. I have it wrong in the box. Hold on, chat. I have it wrong in the box. I don't know why I selected 8 left. That's my mistake. I've been here a year and I still can't remember which direction is east. 8 right. Occasion 2. Sting a transition. Dunzo. Boom. Now we'll go to the perf speeds, and now we should load it up right. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and send this off. Dry. Look, I can sit here and say, everybody, I need y'all to hit that like button. This is the last stream that I'm going to be streaming for the foreseeable future. I don't have anything set up. The last office I was at is not available, so I don't know the next time I'm going to see y'all live. So all I'm going to say, I'm only going to say it once or twice during this stream. Just hit that like button. Let's blow this stream out of the water with as many likes as possible. That way the channel will end on a good note for the time being. So I appreciate you. Aviator Nick, thank you so much for gifting 5 more memberships to the channel. Aviator Nick, you've been around a long time as well. I do appreciate all the support from you, and thank you for gifting us some memberships. I really appreciate it. All right, sending the speeds to McDo. We're doing a flap 1, 51, 51, 52. Flaps 1, down point 2. That checks. Before start checklist. Windows, doors, and slides there. Closing an army. Beacons on. Thrust levers out. Parking brake is off. Before start checklist is complete. Tiller cam is on. It's blowing out because I don't have walls in my basement. The sun's coming in. But here we go. Let's do it. We got an unknighted next to us. Maybe that's my buddy Russell. We'll text him.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Team Vodka, I'm going too. Packs off. Oh, yeah, we're doing packs off. We're doing Toga. We're doing all the things today, y'all. We're doing all the things. Gonna have to watch the podcast while we're in the period of darkness. Yeah, there'll be plenty of podcasts in the period of darkness. Alpha Mike, thanks for the 2 years of support, man. Very kind. Happy for your move. Hope everything goes smoothly, and I'm excited for your future shape. Hey, Alpha Mike, we'll see you on the flip side, brother. It's going to be good. I will tell you this. Probably the next time you see this channel live, probably going to be a new PC. Probably going to be a whole new setup situation. Probably have more professional cameras, because everything we do is going to be done right. Now, the dogs are barking. I'm assuming that means the wife is home. It's Daddy Daycare, and I put the kids in front of the TV. I put them in front of Secret Life of Pets. So, but now the dogs are barking upstairs. I might have to go check, make sure no one's trying to break in.
Locking gear.
Oh, she is home. Thank you. Hey, honey. Scared me. All right, second one for the day. Foxtail. Delicious. Anything else? Oh, hold on. All right, we're back. We need to go nose right, tail left. No, where are we? We are facing, where are we? We need to go nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Cockpit to ground, park brake is released. You're clear to push.
All engines clear, start at will.
It was still the wife came home, that's why the dogs were barking. We're gonna start them up on the pushback, Chad. Here we go. Ignition start to ignition. APU bleed is on. We'll do number 1 from inside. Here we go. Turn in 1. Shh, shh, shh. Oh, where'd the triple go? Dang, those sounds. They're perfect, Taylor, aren't they? Those sounds are perfect. Kyle Ferris, no, we're getting the mugs tomorrow after closing. So we've been running the system. So I've been ordering Foxtail this week, so we get a free drink today. And then my wife just ordered, or yesterday, and then today my wife has it set up. So tomorrow we get a free drink as well. So after closing, we're going to go to Foxtail because it's close to where we're going. And then we're going to get our mugs and going to do it all from there. So, all right, we got a good start on number 1. It sounds so dang good. Let's do number 2 from the outside. Should we do it from behind? Should we do it from, like, right here, you think? You think we should do it from under the engine? Nah, probably doesn't sound any different. Freaking camera. Why is default speed so fast? Should be, like, default 10. From behind? I don't know if it'll sound different. Let's see. We'll do it from like right here. I don't know. It's hard to beat that inside sound. Hard to beat that inside sound. Cam MD80, sorry you got slapped there by Nightbot. It thought you were posting a link from the Russian bots. All right, that's going there. That's going to be armed. We're doing Flaps 1. They're coming out. Maddie K, thanks again for a $10 super chat, my man. Appreciate you, Maddie K. Keep the donuts coming, Jeff. He one deserves it. Here's some cash for road trip donuts and coffee. I'm capped out on donuts for now. I've dropped like over 100 in the past 3 streams. Maddie K, I appreciate all the support, my man. I honestly, truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love, and we'll see you on the flip side too, man. I appreciate you. All right, we got Flaps 1. That's there. That's there. We're doing a PAX off takeoff, so but we'll do it the old. I'll tell you what. We'll do it with the APU on this time. We'll do it with the APU bleed on. I'll show you how we do it in real life normally if we can. Everything else looks good. Let's do a quick flight control check. The runway is right there, full up. Oh, the foam tried to get me. The secret foam tried to get me. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full-ish right. Neutral. Down point 2, it says. Down point 2. Make sure you set it the proper way. Don't set it like that. It's not you set Airbus trim. Cool. That's done. That's done. Let's go, chat. Taxi lights coming on. We're going 8 right. Brakes released. MT, I think it is a little fast. I think it is. Jeff L. Georgia who? Texas, glad to have you back. Oh, man, I can't wait.
American 982, turn left heading 330.
330, American 982.
American 982. You must be on VAAL because I think that's a real flight number. American 982 going to DS Fort Worth. Thanks for all the content and good luck with the move. Kyle Ferris, thank you, my man. Appreciate the support for almost a year. And I'm going to need all the luck I can get, man, because we still got a lot of stuff. It's like we pack everything up, and it's everywhere I look, there's still more stuff. You know?
American 982, turn left strike Cajun.
Nightbot is officially on your show.
American 2403, radar contact.
Sorry,
on
Cam.
maintain 14,000, altitude.
Do we have to call this guy for ground? I think we do. What ramp is this? 1 north? I think this is 1 north. Let's turn our transponder on so we can see us. Oh, hold on. I think my, where's my push to talk? Oh, it's working. Atlanta approach, American 357, 1 north, ready taxi to Oscar.
American 357 Atlanta, runway 8 right, taxi via Echo.
8 right via Echo, American 357.
American 2403, turn
8 right via Echo, let's
left,
do it.
heading 330.
Last time you flew 980 Atlanta from DFW, I think. Ah, yeah, I did because I was on VAAL.
American 982.
I didn't load up the VAL ops today. I just loaded up the old 357 hours. All right, we did our flight control check. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config is checked. That's stowed. That's there. Auto TARA is set. Flight attendant switch prep for takeoff. A right via Echo. I think I'm on Fox. No, here's Echo right here. Texas ribs and beer of your choice.
2403, turn left strike Cajun.
Ooh. Mix, my man. Thank you so much for the 13 Canadian. Texas ribs and beer of your choice. Well, I think my first Texas beer is going to have to be a revolver. Just because I haven't had one since I last left Texas. Appreciate you, Mix.
November 1171 Foxtrot,
leaving
class Bravo airspace.
Cat 3 designers resuming
I
sailing
don't
the
see
320
anybody at
Tiller.
Coweta County.
Really?
The only other traffic going there is right above you.
Got my. I didn't know that. That's exciting news, McAllen.
Have a good one.
So if you are interested in the exact tiller that I have, Cat 3 design, check them out. I guess they're resuming selling or creation
November
of the tiller.
1171 Foxtrot.
Support a fellow Airbus captain as well, because the gentleman who makes it is an Airbus captain.
Yeah, he's got me far right now. We'll see.
Someone taking off Coweta County. That's the county I live in right now in Georgia for 2 more days.
American 357, turn left heading
That's us.
030, maintain 6,000 for now, runway 8 right, cleared for takeoff.
Left turn 030, maintain 6,008 right, clear for takeoff, American 357. All right, lights are coming on. APU bleed is coming on, because this is how we would do a PAX off takeoff with an operative APU. You can hear you can hear it cut out there. Oh, gotta love it. And we're gonna do it from outside view as well. Tiny squid. Hey, I think, you know, the best way I could describe landing this airplane. It's like a box of chocolates.
Service terminated. Frequency change of period. Have a good one.
You never know which one you're going to get. Sometimes you're going to float, sometimes you're going to smash, sometimes you're going to grease it. All right, y'all. Like we were talking about earlier. Last stream, this is your last opportunity to spam those yogas. This is your last opportunity. Spam the yogas, the sounds are up, smash the like button, nose forward on the stick.
So if you just make a slight left turn, I can cancel that at or above 4,000 for you.
Turn down the radio a second.
We have visual with
Let's go. Let's go home, Chad.
A few miles off to our right wing turn, so we'll do that for you as well. 8 Echo Romeo.
There's 7 Echo Romeo in that case. You can maintain visual separation and
Yoga.
navigate.
Golly. Man, Toga SRS runway auto thrust is blue, and we are already turning on the runway. 80 knots. Thrust set.
There's 7 Echo Romeo. Leaving class Bravo airspace. Spot VFR.
100 knots. Check.
Frequencies approved. Have a good one.
Man, we're actually pretty heavy. V1.
You're good. Have a good night.
Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with. Adios, Hot Atlanta. That's the employee drive right through there. You got to go right around the runway there. Employee lots over here somewhere. All right, 030, select heading.
American 357, radar contact.
That's American 357, 3.2, climbing 6,000 in the turn, 030. All right, lever climb. Oh, that's so nice. Have to do a recalibration, it looks like.
American 357, turn left direct, Cajun, climb and maintain 14,000.
Left turn direct, Cajun, climb to 14,000, American 357. All right, 14 is blue, we're thrust coming. Why don't we get that asymmetry going on there? It's the first I've seen that. All right, let's come down here. We're going to go direct to Cajun.
Yeah, I can't give you anything better than that. That looks like your route. It looks like your route is a straight line, so that can really help you catch up to your friends there.
I appreciate it, thank you. There's downtown Atlanta. There's S-Speed as well. Let's go flap 0 up takeoff checklist. Yeah, we are heavy actually. I'm actually surprised how heavy we are. I didn't think we're full loaded, 180 packs. I don't know how much bags we got.
American 357, the center's closed, your service terminated, frequency change approved. Have a good one.
Hey, thanks for the ATC. We'll talk to you next time, American 357. Yeah.
Yeah. Approach is closed.
Appreciate the ATC, brother. All right, 22.8 is up. We're 6 for 14,000. ATC is gone. 340 in the blue box. 34 is blue. Thrust climb, open climb. We're in the nav. Yeah, we're 152,000 pounds. That's not light. And it was like, 28C on the ground. So we're getting up there. Max takeoff 169. See ya, Atlanta. There's the stadium thingy for the team that plays in Atlanta. I don't remember what they are. Georgia Bulldogs, I guess. Party on guard. Uh-oh, are you on guard, Vodka? No. Well, we do have to set Delta operations. Delta Ops is set on number 2. 8.4 for 340. Peachtree City. Noonan's out here. I think Peachtree's over here. I don't know where Peachtree's somewhere. I live somewhere way out there. I forgot what we were going to do. I was going to turn the sim time down a little bit. I was going to fast forward the sim about an hour. Get some extra juice. Yeah, I know it's the Falcons. I'm just messing. I mean, you wouldn't know that the Atlanta had a NFL team. You'd think it would just be Southeast, man. It's all college football. It's college sports out here. It is college. SEC. AP1 is on. Full screen cam is on. Dun, dun. That's off. We're at 10,000. Let's get our lights. APU, that's coming off. Could have done that earlier. We'll go back to normal flow. Reset our cockpit temps here. Looking good. Actually, I was going to fast forward the sim time, but dang, it actually looks pretty good right now. Looks pretty good. Have fun with the move. Moving sucks. Safe travels. Bomb tech. Yes, all of the above. It does suck. Appreciate you, man. Cheers. No better way to leave than use all that runway. Exactly. You know what's funny is like my second trip though. So I recently swapped the trip. I broke my own rule. I said I was going to do everything west of the Mississippi when I got back to Dallas. I swapped trips in the middle of the month. Next month. I'm trying to see which day it is. I'm actually coming back to Atlanta. Yeah, on like the 9th. I have an Atlanta trip. So it's not like I'm leaving Atlanta forever. But as far as, you know, ceremonial leaving Atlanta, that's pretty good. Still another 3 hours of sunlight. That's good, Cam MD80. Well, that's good for real life because I need to do a lot more loading after this stream. That's why the coffee's been delivered. It's my second one today. I feel a little gluttonous. Had 2 foxtails in one day. Is that bad? Every flight I do with V-Spirit, I'm either departing at max takeoff weight or departing where I'll be within max weight on arrival. Makes things more spicy. Matty K, yeah. So I actually have my my sim brief to do that as well. With most of the time I'll have it set up so it's like it gives me the max weight I can do to land on. So I'm always landing around max landing weight. It just makes it a little bit more fun. Shorter flights, you know, doesn't really matter that much because you can't burn all that much fuel. So you're going to be limited. But man, foxtail's delicious. Do you need to turn off the engine bleeds when operating engines with APU bleed, or is that Airbus automatic? Liam, it does it automatically, man. So that's why. That is why. You like the shout outs, Thrustmaster? Appreciate it. I'm glad you like it, man. I got to play multiple roles up here. So, oh, I just got it, Thrustmaster. That's funny. Yeah, I cannot do a stream without shouting you out, my man. Pack logic here on the Airbus. Again, quick review. Little things like this, they're simple. I think I glaze over them, but I know there's new people to the channel all the time. But when we do a packs off takeoff, you're doing it for performance, right? So you're trying to relieve the engine of the bleed demand so you get max performance on the takeoff. There's 2 ways to do that on the 320 family. You can do packs off, literally turn the packs off. The problem with that is the cabin is going to start getting hot because now you don't have any bleed air to run the environmentals. So in an optimum situation, if you need to do a packs off takeoff for performance, if you select APU bleed on, the logic of the Airbus will prioritize the APU bleed for ECS or environmentals. So it will relieve the engine of the bleed demand for environmentals, and it will provide environmentals via the APU bleed for the cabin. So you're not smoking out the back. It really, really helps when you got to do a packs off takeoff in the summer, which typically is when you're going to be doing them. Real hot, real high density altitude, heavy weights, high terrain, things like that. So it really helps when you can use the APU bleed. Now, the problem is if you're at an airport where the APU use is limited or prohibited, or you have an in-op APU. So then you're going to have to do it the old school way with the packs. Also, when you do it the old school way with the packs, when you turn the packs back on, you want to make sure you stagger them. So you typically go pack 2, wait about 15 seconds, and then go pack 1. And the reason for that being is if you were to do both at the same time, that outflow valve, the pressurization is going to pop and you're going to feel it in your ears. So nothing bad is going to happen. It's just uncomfortable for the passengers. So, and for yourself. So that's why we stagger them out. You do pack 2, wait 10, 15 seconds, pack 1. And typically pack 2 will come on first and it will come on after you hit acceleration altitude. So 1,000 feet, you bring the power back, thrust climb, open climb, auto thrust, whatever, pack 2 on. And then you would do pack 1 on, like I said, 15 seconds or so after takeoff. If you have to do the APU, it's very simple. You just turn the APU bleed on, take off, turn the APU off after takeoff. After takeoff check was complete. Donezo. So you get the same performance, but you get more for it. You get the environmentals. All right, STDs are set for you, me, and Thrust set. And we have a disco there between Stinga and, what's that, McAllister? We'll clear that out. I was going to do a two-legger. I was going to do ATR stream. I was going to go ATR through MSY to DFW, but I just simply don't have the time tonight. I got to, with the walkthrough tomorrow now at like 9 a.m., literally going to be up until the wee hours of the morning. And I have to disassemble the gym still, which is going to be an absolute pain. And I've looked everywhere for a 17mm socket drive, but I don't have one. So I have to do it with like these two little Chinese wrenches, and it's going to be brutal. I might just leave the cage. I might take all the weights and just leave the cage here. So yeah, I got a long night ahead of me. McAllen, thank you so much for the 17 months of support. Godspeed to you and your family viewing. We'll see you soon. Hey, McAllen, you're in Georgia, right? I think you're in Georgia. Man, if maybe one of these days we'll have to hook up one of these overnights. I'll be back out here. But McAllen, appreciate the support, and thank you so much for supporting the channel and just being here, being part of Team Green, man. Pack software performance and also for likes. Exactly, MD80. Who we kidding here? We also got to smash it for the like button, right? I feel like that's a good way to get the interaction going. Got to have interaction. You got to be a content creator. You got to have the creative juices. But if I'm being completely honest, Cam, it's more for the sounds. I want to hear the engines going complete Toga with no bleed demand restricting them. I want to hear them go all the way to their max performance. That's why I do it normally. At least they're not Boeing wrenches. Hey, Migs, that's true. I did hear TSA is now allowing you to bring wrenches on if you're flying on a Boeing aircraft, though. So if you're flying on a Boeing, you can bring wrenches through TSA. Gotta love it. Yeah, the terrain out here is definitely pretty mid. But actually, you know, for it being pretty mid, the ortho's actually, I mean, it's not terrible. And those nice little clouds back there, like those clouds look really good. I love this livery here, a little bit of offset nose cone, and I love the two-tone cowling. Let's get some two-tone cowling. Look at that. We got a greasy one and a clean one right there. How many go-arounds have you made in your whole entire career, Vladimir? I have no idea. Probably, you mean whole entire career like ever, or just like at the airlines? I can't begin to tell you how many, like, not at just the airlines, like 121 airline operations. I've probably done less than 20 go-arounds on the line, not including sim events. Sim events you go around all the time. You train go-arounds and do all that stuff. Probably less than 20 go-arounds in real life in the Airbus only. I can't think back. I mean, I don't even know. There's more than that if I look at other airplanes, but just at my current airline on the Airbus, probably less than 20. And I did 3 of them in like last month. 3 of them 2 months ago. The banner is stuck at 10,000 feet. You know why? Because the banner's trashed and we're going to exile it. It's done. Fubar says, V1 between work and being away, I've been out of the loop with ATL. Be your base or back to original? Fubar, it's kind of confusing. I know it's confusing, but I technically, for June, was Atlanta still. But what I'm able to do is I dropped all of my Atlanta trips and I picked up all Dallas trips. So my schedule for next month is set. I'm done. I have all Dallas trips, in and out of Dallas. Now, the seniority is different. I'm actually less senior there, so the quality of trips goes down. I'm not going to be doing my turns, you know, just my day trips anymore. I got mostly 2-day trips. I think I have a 3-day trip in there. But, yeah, so for the month of June, I'm set. July is TBD. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to explain. Leaf Fly live in Atlanta. When you're in the max, the gate agents hand out parachutes. Gonna head out and catch a swim in the Texas Heat. Chase B. Have a good swim, my man. Go to Bodark Lake, dude. If you want to go swimming, go to Lake Bodark. Bodark Lake, go there. It's much cleaner than Louisville or Grapevine or wherever you're probably swimming. See ya. Ideally, you never want to go around. No, you never, I mean, you know what? I used to make fun of him for this when I was a new FO at the regionals, but there was one captain I flew with a lot, and I actually really liked him. But he would always say this thing. It was kind of, I won't say annoying, but I would kind of make fun of him. Every single landing, every landing you did, whether you were pilot flying or he was pilot flying, at like I can't remember. I think at the time we were supposed to be stable at 500. So every single time it'd be like we'd have some call. I don't remember how it went. Like speed checks, target, or like target. What was it? It was 500 feet, target, sync. Yeah, it was 500 feet, target, meaning you were on speed, or it would be 500 feet plus 5, 500 feet minus 5. Would be, so it's 500 feet, target, and then stable was a call. And then after that, he would say, landing's a plan, go around is always an option. Landing's a plan, go around is always an option. Every landing. And I used to make fun of him, but actually, it really, when you think about it, that's how you got to approach every single landing. You know, you are planning to land, but a go-around is no big deal. It really is no big deal. And I've done thousands of go-arounds outside of the airline world, and I've probably done hundreds, I've probably done hundreds of go-arounds in the sims for airline world if I combine all my airlines together. I'm sure I've done hundreds of go-arounds in sims, but as far as conducting a go-around in the real airplane, it is a non-event. I mean, it should be a non-event. The hardest part of a go-around is getting everybody on the same page, because it's something that you don't do very often. So it's like if someone forgets a call, then it trips you up, because every go-around is a sequence. It's boom, 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 boom. For instance, go-around flaps is the call for the pilot that calls go-around. Go-around flaps. Flaps come up one step. The next call is the most common forgot call, and that is positive rate, because you're moving the flap lever when you're normally not moving the flap lever, and you're kind of, do I talk to ATC right now as we're going around? What altitude are we climbing to? But if you don't say positive rate, the whole sequence gets combobulated, because the positive rate call then triggers the gear up. It's literally a takeoff. Go around flaps, and then positive rate from the monitoring pilot, and he say, all right, positive rate, and then you go gear up. And then it's just a takeoff from there. It's literally just a takeoff. But it's getting over that one call, positive rate, when you normally don't ever call positive rate because you're landing, that trips you up. At least that's how it works for us. But even on the last go, so like I said, I did 3 go-arounds like last month. One of them, I think I told y'all, FO. I mean, we just could do, I don't know what happened. Honestly, it just wasn't going to work. We were supposed to be stable at 1,000. We're at 321. And basically, I'm looking at the DME. I'm like, wait a second. We're flaps. We're approaching 1,000 feet. We're like 1,200 feet. And we're flaps 1, 210. And I just looked over and I'm like, hey, brother, it's not going to work out. So we're going to go around. He's like, yeah. It's like, okay. Ready? All right, go around flaps. And then we commenced to go around. You got to give him a heads up. And really what happened was he got a short vector inside and never caught the glide slope, so he was doing glide slope from above. Then it didn't work, and then so he did the right thing. He turned the automation off and was trying to get on the glide slope, and he did, but in doing so, just got behind the airplane a little bit, and I think we were landing at the elevation he was just a little off. So that's why there's 2 of us. I'm like, tell you what, man, because there's some close ones where you're like, well, at 1,000 feet, you're supposed to be on speed plus 10, but what if you're on speed plus 12? Do you go around? You have to think about it. But that one was a no-brainer. It's like, dude, we are 210 knots, flaps 1. This ain't going to work out. And it went around just fine. It was actually kind of fun. The controller laughed. It's like, yeah, it looked like you had a lot of ground speed on that approach there. I'm like, yeah, we're going to try it again here. But it was good.
Bank angle.
Oh.
Bank angle.
Greetings from Addison, Texas. Thank you for all you do for us on the channel. This is for you, Ms. V1, and the V1s to get treats at Sonic/PUCs on the road tomorrow. THX again and safe travels.
Classy traveler dropping a $100 bank angle check Very, very kind, classy traveler. That is extremely generous. Thank you so much for a massive $100 super chat here. I will definitely share with the wife and the V1ettes. We'll get our Sonic and Bucky's on the road, and we'll be seeing you very soon. Addison, Texas. I flew out of Addison a couple times. But Classic Traveler, again, thank you so much. That is a massive bank angle check. Get some positive rates in chat, y'all. You're all green now. Get some positive rates in there. Get some positive rates in there for Classic Traveler. Get some positive rates for all the love today on the channel. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Here I am trying to find, I don't even know where my positive rate emoji is. Where is it? There you go. Couldn't find my own emoji. All right. Looks like we have leveled off at 340. We got 9 knots of headwind. I like that. Zoom our map page out. Oh, yeah. What is that, Nashville? I don't know where we are. Where are we? Birmingham, Alabama. All right. We'll configure the airplane. Let's go ahead and go seatbelt sign off. Let's go realism mode up front here. Let's go here. Let's pull up, especially right now. Oh, I got to take this off because I don't have the... There we go. Full-blown realism mode. Now, in real life, if you were doing this flight at this moment in time with the sun right there, there'd probably be some additional sunshades up. Bring some other... Make it, because it is, if you do a long haul, or I mean it's a long haul, I mean shoot, I think a transcon, especially east to west, is a long haul, considered a long haul. 5-6 hours, man. And I forgot, a lot of the Dallas trips do have a lot of those. They fly you out east, and then you do a long haul on the second day. You go from like Baltimore to LA or Portland, or I don't know, there's some long ones on there. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do that. I don't want that. But I would definitely consider 5-6 hours a long haul. Hell, I'd consider 4 hours a long haul. All right, so we are all set up there. A couple things, we'll just clean up the box. We'll copy the active. We're only 500 miles away, so we're going to set up a quick Green Dot. You guys want to watch Green Dot? You want to watch Green Dot? You don't want to watch Green Dot? When I'm doing long haul, I love headwind. Call me weird. I just love long flights. Well, I will call you weird, long speed. Light speed. I'll call you long speed. How about that instead of light speed? Do you think the younger lower hour pilots are worried about calling go-arounds because they're afraid of making a mistake or they feel reprimanded? Yes, I do think that is part of it. Now, not to the point where they don't do it. Any junior pilot, you don't even have to be low time. If you're a junior pilot and you're calling a go-around on it's most likely going to be your captain. Not always, but I wouldn't even say junior. I would just say if you're the first officer and you're going to call a go-around on your captain, it doesn't feel, I'll tell you this, I don't know how to explain it, but I will say this. It's easier to call a go-around as a captain to the first officer than it is for the first officer to call a go-around to the captain. But it has to be done. You got to get over it, and you got to do it. I've done it. I felt weird about it, but then you just get over it. You just be like, hey, man, I don't think we're stable. Or the best part is, if you see it coming up, form everything into question. That's first officer cheat code. If you see something going on that you don't think should be going on, turn it into a question. Like, hey, Cap, I don't think we're stable. Do you? So it's like, then the captain's got to be like, no, we're not. Okay, go down, Or, hey, Cap, do you want me to turn these dome lights off for you? Or can I turn this dome light off because you are weird and like to fly with the dome light on in the middle of the night on a red eye? Turn it into a question. That's first officer cheat code. Heck, I still do it even as captain. I'd be like, hey, man, what do you think about doing this? All right, I'm going to reset the camera here. We're going to go here. Now, give me a minute, chat, because I did not have time to preload the in-flight entertainment box. So it may not be perfectly centered, but we'll have to live with it. Settings. You get to see me build this in real time. I apologize. There are professional streamers available elsewhere. About as close as we're gonna get it, I think. Right? Let me see if I can fix the bottom here. V1 behind the scenes. Oh, why'd you do that? 120. Alright. Enough, I guess. Oh, that's how I was supposed to do it. Oh, I remember now. Hold on. Hold on. So, and now, this is why I do this before the stream. Beautiful. Too much. Perfect. Close enough. That's all we got today. That's all we got. You got I ain't got time to sit here and finagle the green dot window. Hold on, that's gonna bother me though. Let me try it. Do 50 on the right. Do here. It's so like not fitting. Alright, oh well. That's all we got. We're gonna send it just like that. Green dot and Blanco Lirio, same. I wish we could do Blanco Lirio on the channel. That'd be funny, man. Alright. Let's turn the sim down. Make sure we have our sounds up. So we are going to watch Cam MD-80's favorite airplane here. This is gonna be an American Airlines MD-80. I can't remember where they were going. I haven't watched this one in a long time, but it's actually this is good for everybody. If you're a real pilot, not a real pilot, working on your flying skills or your ratings, about checklist. All right, so we'll be halfway down the arrival before V1 gets the windows set up. I know it's all good. It's an ultra wide monitor infotainment upgrade. Oh, geez, you guys are too funny. Oh my gosh. All right. But yes, we're going to check the audio levels, and let's get right into this one. So, promoting fine arts. June 1st.
How did American Airlines Flight 1420 go from this to this? If you want to understand what happened to Flight 1420, you have to begin not in Little Rock, Arkansas, where the plane ended up that night, but 500 kilometers away in Dallas, Texas. It was
Ooh.
10 past 8 in the evening, and Captain Richard Bushman and First Officer Michael Urgel had just landed in Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. They were 40 minutes behind schedule because of the weather. This was a stormy summer evening in the American Southwest, with heavy rain and high winds buffeting the airport. Bushman and Urgel had started their day in Chicago at 10 in the morning, and Flight 1420 from Dallas to Little Rock was their third and last flight of the day. Previous episodes in this series have explored the role that incompetent crews played in their respective accidents, but this flight crew is different. Captain Bushman, at 48 years old, was a highly accomplished pilot. He had served in the US Air Force for 7 years, where he attained the rank of Lieutenant Colonel before joining American Airlines in 1979. Bushman had a spotless training record with American Airlines and had built up over 10,000 flying hours by the time of the accident. The year before the accident, he'd been promoted to check airman on the MD-80, meaning that he trained new pilots on the aircraft and gave them their license to fly it.
We were just talking about this a little while ago, like check airman. I think we're talking about this in the Discord. It's actually Flight Deck to Sim. Check airman now on 7.3. Pretty cool. So obviously, right out of the gate here, Captain Bushman, a highly experienced, spotless training record, good pilot, like no red flags at all. And obviously, we can see what happened there at the beginning. How did it end up the way it ended up? So this is just one of those good reminders. It doesn't matter, how much time you have, how much experience you have. Little things can add up and can cost you big time. And real world aviation, you play for keeps every single time you drop that parking brake. So let me guess, the passengers were oblivious. McAllen, because of the grave danger. All right. Shh.
6 months before the accident, he'd been further promoted to chief pilot at American Airlines Chicago base. According to interviews with the base manager, he had been selected for this position due to his flying background, company achievements, and leadership skills. This base manager had said that he was, quote, extremely comfortable flying with the captain, and that the captain had a great deal of common sense. The first officer, who had flown with the captain on the day of the accident, said that he was, quote, a knowledgeable pilot who was not intimidating. First Officer Urgel was also an above-average pilot. He was 35 years old and had just been hired by American Airlines in January of that year. Before this, he'd been a corporate pilot for 6 years, flying the Learjet and other aircraft. He'd also been the director of operations and the chief pilot for an air charter company, and was a flight instructor as well. Like the captain, his career began in the military, in his case the US Navy, which is where he had completed his primary flight training. A captain who had flown with the first officer the month before the crash had described him as, quote, an above average new hire who was very competent and knowledgeable. It's important to keep the pilot's experience in mind, as over the next few minutes we'll see them make a series of increasingly grave mistakes which will end up killing a number of people on board. But for now, back to Dallas.
So, obviously, again, not only is the captain experienced, the first officer is extremely experienced. They both have military backgrounds, and I bring that up because if you think about military aviation, if anything is structured and if any rule is written in blood, it comes from military aviation. Now, most all of the civilian aviation rules are written in blood as well, but I mean even more so in the military. So you would think out of the gate, checklist operation, SOP adherence, everything would be an absolute no-brainer for this crew. But again, remember, this is a good lesson in what's that hazardous? I can't think of the hazardous attitude where not necessarily a macho, but like where you're overconfident in your own abilities. You don't think, oh, nothing that can't happen to me. It doesn't matter how good you are, how experienced you are. Anything can happen to you, and we all make dumb mistakes. Here we go.
The pilots made their way to the departure gate for Flight 1420. The flight was already delayed by 30 minutes at that point, with a new estimated departure time of 9 p.m. This time came and went, and the first officer warned American Airlines dispatch that they would need to depart by 11:15 at the latest, or they would be exceeding their maximum allowed duty time of 14 hours. He then telephoned the dispatcher and suggested that he either get another aircraft for the flight or cancel it. Sometime after this, the dispatcher found a plane to substitute in for the original one, and the 6 crew and 139 passengers started boarding.
All right, so you've got definite frustration. Let me kind of lay that out for you. It might gloss over if you're not familiar with the airline industry. This is obviously before Part 117 was what FAA Part 117, our current rest rules were. They had a duty limitation of 14 hours. You exceed that, you're pretty much going to become a pumpkin or dead in the water. So you need to get an airplane to go and complete this flight. Now, there was a saying before FAA 117 that was legal to start, legal to finish. So if you were legal to start the pairing and some stuff happened and the way it worked out, you would be legal to finish, and sometimes you would have extraordinarily long duty days. So there's frustration already with the captain because it's already 9-10 p.m. at night here. They need a new airplane, and they're still got to leave. I'm assuming, I wonder if they're based in Dallas here, because if they're leaving DFW. So it's just, they're already strung out. Fatigue could definitely already start creeping in here. Even if you feel like you were supposed to be rested, you got 1 or 2 flights late at night, it doesn't matter who you are, man. If you report for a departure at 10 p.m., it doesn't feel good. It never feels good pushing back from the gate at 10 p.m. at night. I don't care how crazy you are, unless you're a vampire and you use A1 on the armrest for the Airbus.
The aircraft being used for this flight was a 17-year-old McDonnell Douglas MD-82. American Airlines had a vast fleet of about 300 of these aircraft at the time, and was the world's largest operator of the MD-82. In fact, at one point, they made up literally half of the airline's fleet, and 1/3 of the MD-80s ever produced. American used the MD-82 mainly on domestic routes, as it was cheap to operate as well as being safe and reliable. The pilots were eager to get to Little Rock. They had been working for more than 12 hours, and they were under pressure from the airline to get to their final destination of the day. To make matters worse, the weather was deteriorating, and the route to Little Rock was flanked by thunderstorms. This was not going to be an easy end to their day.
I just got chills hearing that, because that's one of the ultimate card deck stacked against you scenarios. You're already on duty, so this isn't the first flight of the day for them. They've been on duty for 12 hours. They have a delay. Their last leg is delayed. They need a new airplane, and the route that they need to go to complete their last leg is plagued with thunderstorms. And let me tell you, central U.S., Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, that whole belt, mid-central U.S., thunderstorms, awful. Compile it with being late at night. I almost want to call out fatigue for them right now, but that wasn't an option back then. That's an option now. This is just a massive card deck stacked against a crew. I don't want this to go understated.
Flight 1420 eventually departed Dallas over 2 hours behind schedule. At about 5 minutes to 11, as the aircraft was en route, the flight dispatcher sent the crew a message suggesting that they hurry up as much as possible in order to beat the thunderstorms which were now closing in on Little Rock. The crew were no doubt feeling the pressure, but the atmosphere in the cockpit was still calm and good-humoured. At one point, First Officer Orgel said, "There's a moon out there, or a spaceship." To which Captain Bushman replied, "Yeah, the mothership." At 11:05, air traffic control broadcast
That means they're tired as hell. When you start saying weird stuff like that, you're tired.
a warning for severe thunderstorms around Little Rock Airport. Thunderstorms are no-go areas for aircraft. The combination of strong winds, extremely low temperatures, and heavy rain and hail have downed a number of aircraft over the years. The pilots pressed on towards Little Rock, getting increasingly concerned about the weather they would encounter in the coming minutes. At around 11:30, the pilots began their descent. When they contacted Little Rock Control Tower, the controller informed them that the thunderstorms were approaching the airport from the northwest, and that the winds at the airport were gusting as fast as 44 knots, or 50 miles an hour.
Jeez.
First Officer Orgel, who was handling the radios, replied that he and the captain could see the lightning. The controller told the pilots to expect a landing on runway 22 left, which faces southwest. Because the winds were at an angle to this runway, the captain and the first officer began discussing the crosswind speed limitation for a landing. Airlines have rules about how strong a crosswind can be before pilots have to abort their approach, and Bushman and Orgel knew that they were probably close to those limits. Captain Bushman said that the crosswind limit was 30 knots, but then realised that this was the limit for dry runways, and that actually, the limit on wet runways was 20 knots. The first officer disagreed. He thought the limit was 25 knots. As it turned out, the captain was right. American Airlines' limit for landing the MD-80 on a wet runway was a 20-knot crosswind. This discussion was never fully settled, however, and the winds were already gusting way beyond that limit.
So again, that's just, you got to know your limitations, right? You can, if you have it in the book, I mean, you can pull it up now. They don't have an iPad back then. This, you got to look it up in the book. You literally got to pull out your book. Is it 20, 25 knots, 30 knots, crosswind, wet runway? Everything makes a difference. Also, if you have, standing water, that can make a difference as well. But I'm pretty sure every airport in North America has grooved runways, so that's less of an issue. But if you're going somewhere that doesn't have a grooved runway, that could also affect your limitation.
At 20 minutes to 12, the controller cleared the flight to descend to 3,000 feet. He then asked the flight crew about the weather on the final approach to runway 22 left, stating that the black and white weather radar he had in the tower was much worse than the colour-coded display the pilots had on board. First Officer Orgel responded that he could see the airport from where he was, and that the storm was further away than the controller thought. The controller offered the pilots a visual approach to the airport, meaning an approach where they could fly to the runway by sight. There were still intermittent clouds between the plane and the airport, however, and Orgel told the controller that he'd rather be directed to the runway via compass headings. The storm was really beginning to pick up at this point. The controller alerted the pilots that he had received a wind shear warning for the airport. Wind shear is a dangerous phenomenon common in thunderstorms, where the wind rapidly changes direction over a short distance. It has caused planes to crash in the past, and is especially dangerous when aircraft are travelling low and slow, like on final approach. The pressure on the pilots was mounting. They were increasingly desperate to make it to the airport, but the conditions for a safe landing were looking less and less favourable.
All right, so this was 1991, right? Let's do a quick Google. When was Delta's crash in DFW? Delta L1011 wind shear crash. What year was that? That was in 1985, a TriStar. So it was after that Delta incident when wind shear really started to become respected more. Because until that L1011 crash, it really, it was known, but I wasn't flying in 1985. But from what I have been told, it wasn't like it is now. Now wind shear is it's treated very seriously. Not that these guys aren't going to treat it seriously, but when you start throwing in wind shear with wet runways and crosswind limitations, you got to start looking. You have to look at all these things stacking up against you, and at some point, somebody's got to make a decision on go or no go on this approach. But again, going back to the very beginning of this video, these guys are tired. They've been on duty all day long. It's going to be almost midnight, it looks like, by the time they get in, and they probably just want to go to the hotel. So you can see right out of the gate, these cards are stacked way high against this crew.
The controller then informed the crew that the wind had shifted and was now blowing from the north. Captain Bushman decided that it would be safer to land into the wind and requested vectors for an approach onto runway 4 right, which was the same runway but in the opposite direction. The controller directed the pilots to fly heading southwest so that they could line up for this new approach. Soon afterwards, Orgel told the controller that he had the airport in sight, and the controller cleared the flight for a visual approach to runway 4 right. At 12:15, the plane was flying parallel to the runway, with Captain Bushman resting to keep the aircraft on course in the fierce winds. First Officer Orgel pointed the runway out to Bushman on the right-hand side, but the captain couldn't see it. The controller then cleared the flight to land, and Bushman said to the First Officer, "See, we're losing it. I don't think we can maintain visual." Orgel informed the control tower that a cloud had come between the airport and the plane, and that they would need radar vectors. The controller gave the pilots a heading of 220, roughly southwest, and instructed them to descend to 2,300 feet.
So this is kind of plays into yesterday when we were on VATSIM and the controller was trying to get us a visual. So depending on the situation, I'm not an air traffic controller, but I'm pretty sure if you ask one, and maybe we should get Phantom in chat here, but a lot of times they will want to clear you for the visual because that kind of relieves them of getting you in the approach gates for an actual instrument approach. So if you're going to get vectored for an ILS, there are specific corridors and gates that those controllers need to put that airplane through. And if there's weather in the way and there's stuff happening, it's easier. Easier is not necessarily the right word, but it's almost even more beneficial for all parties involved to accept the visual, because if we get a visual approach, now we can deviate as necessary around the weather. We can stay a little bit high, maybe get a little bit lower, get below the minimum vectoring altitude if need be, because we're already cleared for the visual. We've got the runway in sight, so it's a little bit more beneficial for both the air traffic controller and the flight crew to accept that approach clearance, the visual approach clearance. However, at night, in the rain and in storms, if you can't maintain visual, you obviously cannot maintain a visual approach. Now, if you're flying into Atlanta and there is one cloud that's the size of a cotton ball and it's transparent and you're on the visual approach and it goes in front of the runway and you can still kind of see the runway through it, and then within 2 seconds you're on the other side of it, that's different. Nighttime, you can't. You have to see the runway all the way down because the ground is black, the sky is black, and if there's clouds, it's probably extra black because there's no moonlight or anything coming down from the top. So it's imperative that you do maintain that visual as you're coming down on the approach. Now, the captain's having a hard time seeing it because he's on the left side of the airplane here, and the first officer can see it out the right window. That also comes into play. You have to have good crew communication here, because even in modern day, you're accepting a visual approach, and if the first officer asks me, hey, do you have it in sight? I say, yeah, I have the runway in sight. We can maintain visual, and then I say, you good? And they say, yes, and then, okay, we'll accept the visual approach. Same goes the opposite. If I'm pilot flying, and I'm, like, a lot of times you'll be in a 90-degree turn, right? They'll be vectoring you onto the final. I'm wing up side of the aircraft. I can't quite see down, but he's wing down side of the cockpit, and he's looking right at the runway. Like, yeah, I got the runway in sight. I'm like, okay, if you can maintain visual, we call it. Let's get it on and do the visual. Nighttime, though, totally different ball game here.
The captain was becoming increasingly uncomfortable with the weather conditions. At one point, he said to the first officer, I hate droning around visual at night in weather without having some clue where I am. Argyll responded, yeah, but the longer we go out here, and Bushman said, yeah, I know. Both pilots were now
Longer we go out here, the more weather's going to move in, the timing is going to get jacked up, fuel they're going to burn. It's unspoken. These are all things he just says, yeah, I know. You don't know what they were thinking. I'm telling you what they're thinking. Weather's going to move in. They're getting further out. It's going to make the flight longer. They got to get more vectors. Everything gets delayed. They may not even see the airport if they go out too far and have to come back around, do a go around. All these things are going through their head. It's unspoken. First officer brought it up. Captain said, yeah, I know.
hyper-focused on making it to their destination. They appeared unwilling to consider diverting to one of their alternate airports. The wind was buffeting the plane from side to side, and as they flew through an intense downpour, Captain Bushman said, "Oh, we're going right into this." At that same moment, the controller told the pilots that there was heavy rain at the airport, and that the visibility on the runway was less than 3,000 feet. Pressure was truly starting to build up at this point. The controller told the pilots that the wind was coming from 350 degrees, roughly north, at 30 knots, gusting to 45 knots. And First Officer Argyll read back this information incorrectly, saying that the winds were 030 degrees at 45 knots. Either way, the winds were far beyond the crosswind limitations, yet this either didn't occur to the pilots under their heavy workload, or it did, but they disregarded it. The captain...
Try to make it work. You know, the winds are being reported one thing right now, and this is not necessarily... You know, it's very situation dependent, because if you got a 45 knot crosswind going across the runway, it could just be the gust front. It could be the front end of that storm going over the runway. And by the time you go out and turn around, configure, and are on final approach, those winds could be down below the limit. So there have been times where I've been in that exact scenario where you're getting them like, we can't land in that. But you go out, you get on in line for the approach, you get configured, you slow up, and then you get your wind check, your wind reports when you're on final, because that's, you know, exactly when you're going to be touching down, you know, imminently. So going out here, they're getting vectored around. That's probably why that crosswind is at the lower end of their priority list right now. They've got many other things to worry about. I'm not sure. 1991, they probably had NDs, right? This little ND. I wonder if they had the old school HSI where they were really just looking at a weather radar over here and just, you know, an HSI and round gauge all the way through, which 1991 definitely could have been very possible. So their situational awareness is obviously way less than it would be in today's day and age, or with an Airbus and your GPS and all that good stuff. So they're out flying blind essentially on vectors and looking at a whole ton of weather on their weather radar over here.
Instead focused on another part of the controller's weather report.
Oh, it was 1999. Okay, I thought it was 91.
We can't land on that.
4 seconds later, perhaps after checking his charts, Argyll responded that the visibility limitation for landing on runway 4 right was 2,400 feet, not 3,000.
So this is what's more important. The wind is bottom of the priority list. Visibility, that is a requirement. You have to have the appropriate visibility to execute the approach. If the visibility, that is the controlling factor, not the wind, not the ceiling. The visibility is the controlling factor on the approach. If it is below minimums before the final approach fix, you're not authorized to shoot the approach. If you're inside of the final approach fix and the weather minimums drop below, you can continue the approach, but be ready to go around because you're probably not going to see it. However, you could have a flight visibility that's slightly greater than what is being reported on the field, and you may actually be able to pick up that runway environment and land. So the way the regs are written, inside the final, you can continue. Outside the final, the visibility is controlling.
The captain continued the approach. The crew seemed hell-bent on making it to the runway, despite numerous signs that they should abandon the approach. These signs would become even more glaring over the next few minutes. At last, the aircraft was lined up at the runway. The pilots lowered the landing gear and turned on the lights. At 11:48 p.m, the controller issued another wind shear alert and again stated the winds on the runway. Still, the winds were well beyond the safe limits for landing, but the crew did not acknowledge this report, either to the controller or between themselves. Seconds later, the controller reported that the visibility on the runway had reduced to just 1,600 feet. This was well below the 2,400 feet that the pilots had minutes earlier discussed as being the minimum visibility, yet they ignored this as well. First Officer Orgel announced to air traffic control.
So, that's interesting. So they're on final now, and they're not saying anything about the visibility. They're not saying anything about the winds. I don't know their exact position. Maybe they're inside the final at this point. I don't know. Or maybe they're hearing, they're anticipating getting a visual, and it wouldn't matter what the visibility is there. But if the visibility is below minimums for the approach, you're not going to get a visual approach. So, interesting. Let's see what happens here.
That the aircraft was established on the instrument landing system, meaning that...
I'm going to go back.
First Officer Orgel announced to air traffic control that the aircraft was established on the instrument landing system, meaning that they could fly the rest of the approach using their instruments. The controller repeated that the aircraft was cleared to land, and he again stated the winds and runway visibility, which still exceeded the safe minimums. Orgel acknowledged the landing clearance, and neither he nor Bushman considered abandoning the approach. In the turbulent conditions, and under increasingly self-imposed pressure to make it to the airport, cockpit discipline had entirely broken down. About 2 minutes from landing, First Officer Orgel asked the captain, 140 flaps? To which Bushman responded, yeah, I thought I called it. The controller again reported the winds, which were still beyond the limits for a safe landing, and seconds later, Captain Bushman said, this is a can of worms. This statement alone should have told both pilots that it was time to go around.
All right, so that's you've got some definite red flags there. The captain is, by saying this is a can of worms, he's obviously beginning to show a little, that's the word I'm looking for, maybe uncomfortability with the current situation. You have a very experienced crew. You got 2 military guys up there. You would think that the cockpit discipline would be at the top of the game, but late at night, they're both on the same path. They're both tired. They're both fatigued, and maybe they're just kind of leaning on the other one to say something, and neither one of them says anything. That's really what I've taken away from this so far. We'll see what transpires on this final, but right now my gut instinct is saying that because the captain's saying this is a can of worms, and he's got more experience than the FO, I can almost guarantee you the FO was thinking the same thing. He has concerns, and they're probably leaning. I bet if any one of them said go around, they would go around. But I don't know if anybody says anything. Let's find out.
But they pressed on. Captain Bushman was now desperately fighting to keep the aircraft on course, using just his instruments. Finally, about 1 minute from touchdown, the runway came into view. Bushman called for the windscreen wipers to be turned on, and he proceeded to fly towards the runway visually. Things are about to happen quite fast now, so I'll put the rest of the cockpit voice recorder transcript at the bottom of the screen as I narrate the landing.
All right, so we might watch this too here. So they picked up the runway. So maybe they were seeing stuff out the window that we don't know. Like maybe the visibility being reported was just because of the isolated shafts. You get these thunderstorms that move in. It could be raining, pouring rain over your house, and your neighbor's house across the street is not getting any rain. So there could be some of that going on here where the sensors are reporting lower visibility, but the crew, they're the only ones that know what's going on. They're looking out at real-time flight visibility. Maybe they feel like they can pick up the runway. Maybe they're seeing lights below them, and that's kind of why they're just pressing on. Maybe not necessarily legally by the book side of things here, but they were technically on a visual approach prior, but now they're on an ILS, but the visibility is not there. So there's definitely muddy waters here. But it tells me if they saw the runway this far out that they probably were seeing stuff out the window that we don't know, and it was probably a little bit better visibility than we were assuming. Nevertheless, this is very spicy. So let's see. We'll let this play through. I'm going to try to read the CVR, and then we'll have to rewind it if we need to.
The aircraft hit the runway hard and began sliding almost sideways. Bushman deployed the thrust reversers in an attempt to slow the aircraft down, but he used them at such a high power setting that they blocked off airflow to the rudder, making it harder to steer the aircraft.
Wash out.
He used the rudder pedals
Freaking
vigorously,
MD-80.
as well as the brakes and thrust reversers, alternating between left and right to slow the aircraft and keep it on the runway. But all of this was no good. The plane wasn't slowing down. 25 seconds after touchdown, and travelling at 180 kilometers an hour, the aircraft slid off the runway. Seconds later, it slammed into the metal pier supporting the approach lighting system for runway 22 right. This pierced the cockpit and tore away the left side of the fuselage along the first class section, instantly killing Captain Bushman and 2 passengers. The plane then broke into 3 pieces and came to rest on the grass. As soon as the aircraft had come to a stop, a fire broke out in the rear section of the aircraft, where most of the passengers were located. This sent a wall of smoke through the fuselage, and while most passengers were able to evacuate through the overwing exits and the holes in the fuselage, 4 people were unable to get out in time and died due to smoke inhalation. In the cockpit, First Officer Orgel had survived the crash, but his leg was broken in 3 places, and he was pinned in place by debris. He used his mobile phone to call American Airlines Operations Center to inform them of the crash, and then he called his wife, all before any rescuers had arrived on scene. It took firefighters almost 18 minutes to reach the
All right, we're gonna go back to that, but I wanna play that landing. I'm just gonna read the cams, the mics. So let's see that again. I'm gonna play it muted because
So I'll put the rest of the
I didn't
cockpit
catch
voice
it all
recorder
here.
transcript.
All right, I'm gonna mute Green Dot for a second. I'm gonna read these out. So they're on the approach, 100 feet, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. He's doing all his call-outs. Some hell of an airmanship here. There's a touchdown. We're down. Cam 2, that's still we're sliding, so that's still the FO speaking. Captain's not speaking. He's obviously extremely focused on getting this airplane down there. There hasn't been one Cam 1 yet, so it's all been the FO speaking. Still nothing. He's battling. Isn't there rudder blanking on the MD-80? I wonder if that's going to come into play here. Other one, who said that? So they're battling. This was a quick one. Who said this here? Not slowing down at all. That's scary. Hydroplaning maybe. Rudder blanking. Hydroplaning. What did he say right here? So this one, they don't know who said it. Other one. I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe he's talking about the reverser. I don't know. There must be tremendous noise inside the cockpit here on the voice recorder. It's causing issues. We don't know who said that. Other one. Maybe he's talking about other brake or other reverser. Maybe he's. I bet you. And you know what? I bet you he is toggling the reversers. So he's toggling the reversers, and maybe he's trying to work. Other one is trying to use reverse thrust here to toggle them to keep them on the runway. And then that's it. He probably didn't put it out. There was probably some choice words there at the end. This is just horrific, though. They went off right after they have into the pier. Good night. All right, let's continue on here.
This pierced the cockpit and tore away the left side of the fuselage along the first class section, instantly killing Captain Bushman and 2 passengers. The plane then broke into 3 pieces and came to rest on the grass. As soon as the aircraft had come to a stop, a fire broke out in the rear section of the aircraft, where most of the passengers were located. This sent a wall of smoke through the fuselage, and while most passengers were able to evacuate through the overwing exits and the holes in the fuselage, 4 people were unable to get out in time and died due to smoke inhalation. In the cockpit, First Officer Orgel had survived the crash, but his leg was broken in 3 places, and he was pinned in place by debris. He used his mobile phone to call American Airlines Operations Center to inform them of the crash, and then he called his wife, all before any rescuers had arrived on scene. It took firefighters almost 18 minutes to reach the plane, because the controller didn't initially specify which end of the runway the plane had crashed at. When they finally arrived, they found the passengers huddled in the rain near the flaming aircraft. They put out the fire in short order and rescued the remaining passengers from the aircraft, many of whom were badly injured. The first officer was the last person to be extracted from the plane, as it took an hour and a half to cut away the debris which had pinned him to his seat. He ultimately survived, along with most of the passengers. However, a total of 11 people died, 9 of whom died in the crash itself, including Captain Bushman, while 2 more died later that week as a result of their injuries. You may have noticed during the crash sequence just there that I described a number of ways that the captain tried to slow the aircraft down. One way I didn't mention was the spoilers. These are flaps which pop up from the wing on touchdown. The spoilers are especially effective devices because they slow the plane in 2 separate ways.
Not only they affect, where he's going to talk about how they increase drag and put weight on wheels, and I'm going to hit on that second one. He probably is going to hit on it here too. But the spoilers, especially on a wet runway, crucial, absolutely crucial, because you need to get weight on wheels to get the wheels to get onto the pavement to help mitigate hydroplaning, right? So the spoilers are effective in more ways than one. And when you are battling crosswinds too, you need to spoil that lift to just keep that wing down in general. So I don't know what's going to happen. Did they forget to arm him, I guess? Let's see here. He meant other reverser, I think. Yeah, Matty K, I think so too. So the FO was assisting with the reversers while the captains probably had a battle with two hands on the yoke. I'm assuming he had maybe two hands on the yoke. Maybe he even grabbed the tiller at some point. I don't know. And then who knows? It was obviously a struggle, and something happened here that caused him to not decelerate. We're going to find out. But spoilers on a wet runway is critical.
The first is literally by pushing against the air as it flows over the wing, in the
Drag.
same way that when you stick your hand outside the window of a moving car, you feel the air push it back. The second way that the spoilers slow the plane is that by directing the airflow upwards, they push the aircraft downwards onto the runway. This puts a lot more of the aircraft's weight onto the wheels, which makes the brakes a lot more effective. In fact, when the spoilers are deployed,
Yeah, that's true, but it's the pure fact that it's spoiling lift is what's really putting the weight on wheels. So yeah, every action has equal opposite reaction. What goes down must comes up, pushes down on them. But really, the huge part of the spoilers is the lift being killed on the wing. If you ever on an airplane that has a nice flex wing, 737, even the Airbus, you can see it a little bit, but the 73, you really can see it. If you watch on touchdown, as soon as the spoilers come up, look at the wingtip, and you'll see the wingtip fold over and fold down. You can actually see how instantaneous the spoiling occurs. So when the lift is spoiled, I mean, it doesn't really matter if there's wind pushing those spoilers to help push the gear down. There's just no lift. If there's no lift, the airplane is going to sit on its gear. That's the main factor there of the spoilers.
about 80% of the aircraft's weight is supported by the landing gear, with the rest being supported by the wings. When the spoilers are not deployed on landing, and when the aircraft is 20 knots faster than usual, which was the case for American 1420, just 10% of the aircraft's weight is supported by the landing.
So when he said we're sliding and their nose left there, I think I talked about it on a podcast. I had a hydroplaning incident, not even an incident. I had a situation where we hydroplaned, the first officer hydroplaned the aircraft and also locked up on the aircraft, locked up on the controls. I talked about that on a podcast. It's scary as hell. Top 5 scary moments in an airplane. You start sliding. Not good. It's just that just hit my memory when he said we're sliding, because I remember that's what I was thinking. In my case, we landed. You call reverse green, and then the next one is decel, and I'm looking at the airspeed like we got no decel, zero, like almost no decel. We were hydroplaning, and then it proceeded to lock up on the controls, and that is on a podcast. If you remember, check it out. But scary stuff.
Gear, while 90% is supported by the wings. In other words, as American 1420 skidded along the runway, it was effectively still flying. Its weight was being carried by the wings, and not by the wheels. Investigators quickly honed in on the lack of spoiler deployment as the key cause of the crash. Had the pilots remembered to either arm the spoilers on approach, or even deploy them manually after touchdown, they would have been able to stop the aircraft in time. This is a clear case of pilot error, but the more interesting question is why the pilots made such a basic mistake in the first place. This is why I went into such detail at the start of the episode about the pilots' accomplishments and experience. Bushman and Oracle were supposed to be outstanding pilots. Why did they mess up so badly? As investigators were trying to answer this question, they uncovered a disturbing practice throughout the airline industry. An MIT study conducted in 1999 found that when encountering heavy thunderstorms, which were within 25 kilometers of their destination, 9 out of 10 pilots chose to fly through them. This study found that crews were even more likely to fly through thunderstorms when other planes had flown through them already, or when the flight was running late. This means that it was common practice for crews to knowingly put passengers in danger when they thought it would save them some time. This phenomenon, whereby pilots are hell-bent on getting to their destination at any cost, is so well known in aviation that it has been given a name: get-there-itis. And, as the crash of American Airlines Flight 1420 showed, even the best crews are not immune to this condition.
Cannot stress that enough. It doesn't matter how good you are, how good you think you are, how bad you are. Get-there-itis is real. I think I also talked about get-there-itis when I was ferrying a 172. Very early on in my aviation career, I was ferrying a 172 from the East Coast to Arizona, and I had a case of get-there-itis. Luckily, I made the right decision and eventually took the long way around, which I still think to this day saved my life, because looking back on it, it was just there's no way it would have ended up good. But it's a real thing. Now, I'm thankful for that experience, because I've kept that with me throughout my aviation career as it progressed and I get into, fly different airplanes, bigger airplanes, get into 135, get into airline ops. And in the airline world, get-there-itis, we're so aware of it now that I think the risk of it is less, but it still happens, especially on go-home day. Like we joke about go-home power, Friday power. That's a real thing. You're at the end of a long trip. We all want to go home, but you got to remember, you got to stay grounded in the fact that there's nothing more important than staying safe. So, Sam F., good to see you, man. Appreciate you. Why didn't the checklist catch the spoilers? I'm assuming that I think it was, Sam. Let's see if he talks about it here. But good to see you, Sam. Hope you're doing well, man. Let's go.
On top of this, the pilots of Flight 1420 were fatigued. They'd been awake for over 16 hours as they began their final
16 hours. So that's what I said at the beginning. Remember, legal to start, legal to finish. They were legal to start this flight, but at the time, even if it took you over the duty, you were still legal to finish. Now the rules are different. But that was I remember some excruciatingly long days where you got to the hotel and you might have like 4 hours before you were in the van back to the airport. I mean, it was absolutely brutal before FAA 117. Now, 117 isn't perfect by any means. It's definitely a little bit better. And those that complain about it, I don't think really flew prior to 117. But legal to start, legal to finish, boy. And you were out there in the middle of the night, just pissed off and full of get-there-itis. And it's unfortunate.
Other than being asleep in their beds, which they would have been if the flight had departed on time, they were running behind schedule, switching runways at the last minute, struggling to keep the aircraft on course and complete checklists as they battled heavy winds and rain in a highly stressful and dynamic environment.
Did they even do a checklist?
It was almost inevitable that they would forget something in these frenetic few minutes. This fatigue, combined with their extreme workload, meant that on numerous times during the approach, the pilots failed to acknowledge that both the visibility and the winds were way outside the limits for a safe landing. They missed items on checklists, including, crucially, arming the spoilers, and they used non-standard terminology. The calm and measured atmosphere of the cockpit, which had existed during the cruise phase, had gradually disintegrated as the pilots neared the airport, and had become increasingly chaotic and disorganized on final approach.
Again, remember when I said I think either one of them were looking toward the other pilot to say something. I don't want to Monday morning quarterback. I don't want to trample on anyone's grave here. Captain Bushman, rest in peace. I don't want to sound holier than thou, Blanco Lirio style. I just want to say, you got two well-decorated airmen here, both with like impeccable military aviation backgrounds. Neither one of them wants to just like cough up and call the whole thing off, but I think this is just, let me explain it this way. If Captain Bushman was flying with a new FO, I think he probably would have said, all right, we're just going to bail out. Vice versa. If the first officer was flying with just a run-of-the-mill captain, maybe no military background, I think the first officer would have said something. But the fact that they both had almost the same background, I feel like that played a role in this incident. That's all I'm going to say. And I could be wrong, but judging from how their backgrounds and careers were described, I got to believe that played into this.
The cockpit voice recorder transcript painted a picture of the flight crew which would have been unrecognizable to anybody looking at their records on paper.
Jeez.
Such is the effect of this particular combination of fatigue, delays, stress from high workload, thunderstorms, and a bad dose of get-there-itis. As a result of this crash, American Airlines revised its training on approaches and landings in poor weather conditions. Crucially, it also updated its flight operations manual to make it clear that a go-around must be performed if the approach is not stabilized by the time the aircraft is 1,000 feet above the ground. The maximum duty time allowed for pilots has also been reduced, making errors due to fatigue less likely. The National Transportation Safety Board recommended that procedures be changed such that both pilots must verbally confirm on approach that the spoilers are armed, and again on landing that they have been deployed.
Interesting.
They also recommended that air traffic control weather...
That's funny because we still say that to this day in the Airbus. Spoilers. That's the first call. Spoilers, reverse grain decel in the Airbus even. Now, I don't know. I mean, I only imagine that's probably why. That's a light bulb for me. I just learned something. So that's crazy. We still say it to this day in a completely different airplane that would deploy the spoilers automatically. Even if you don't arm them in the Airbus, they will deploy if you pull the reversers out. But wow, I just see, always learning, right? Every pilot, you're always learning. I just learned something.
The radar must meet a new minimum standard, and the controllers must give all known details about the location of a crashed aircraft to emergency services without being asked. Since the crash of American Airlines Flight 1420, there has not been another fatal runway overrun in the US. In fact, this was also the last weather-related crash of an American airliner.
Oh, it wasn't fatal, though. Well, they killed someone at a gas
If you
station.
found this video interesting, subscribe for weekly air accident
Man, that is, that one's wild. I watched that one a long time ago, but I haven't seen that in a very long time. Goodness. Let's see. How are we doing up here? Let me just make sure we're approaching our TOD in just a little bit. What's our mileage? We are 216. Good. We're going to start coming down here in just a minute. But, wow. Oh, look. Is that the Mississippi? I think that's the Mississippi right there, right? Very sombering indeed. Chaos. Good to see you, Chaos. Hope you're doing well, man. Where can I find your podcast, Jonathan K? They are listed under their members-only content on the V1 After Dark playlist. I haven't done one in quite some time. I don't know. I think we got 15, 16, 17 of them on there now, but I'll do one allegedly again. But, yeah. That one's sombering for sure. Have you seen the Iceland Air 75 into Oslo Bay? Iceland Air 75? No, I haven't, Aaron. I want to save all the 757 ones for when we have the 75. So I tried to match up the green dot with the airplane that we're flying or have some relevance. Now, I think we've already watched all the modern 320 ones from Green Dot. So we've got some other airframes we got to fly and then watch Green Dot on. But I did want to fly the MD-80 today, so that's why we watched an MD-80 one. But crazy stuff, huh? That is sombering all the way. That's one where I can totally put myself in their shoes, being tired with the weather, and see how they got tunnel vision to just getting on the ground. Exactly, Sam. I mean, that's, it's scary because to the untrained eye or someone that's not in the industry, you're like, how does this happen? How are you guys screwing this up so bad? Let me tell you, from experience, especially before 117, try being, 16 hours may not sound that long to you. Like, oh, I'm up, 12, 14 hours a day. So what was 16? You think 16, 17 hours of duty. They're in airports. They're not at home. They're away from home, traveling. You're up and down. So physiologically, when you're up at cruise, you have less oxygen. So your brain is going to fatigue faster. That is a very long day to be at the controls of an airplane. And then to combine that with some of the worst possible weather conditions on the ground at their destination, it's like, where do you go now? I mean, do we try to make it work? And I kind of feel like they were seeing stuff outside the window that led them to continue to get tunnel vision. Because I think if it was just straight up, hard IMC, they probably would have bugged out. Something had to be happening out that cockpit window where they felt that they could make the approach. Because that's kind of you wouldn't understand it unless you've been in that position before. And if you've been in the 121 marker, you fly in the airlines, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, the airport's reporting one thing, but you're flying through these scatter clouds. You can see the ground below you. You can, every now and then you see the airport, you see it again, you lose it, you see it, you lose it. So you combine that factor in there. Something had to be leading them on, like saying, come here, keep coming. But at the end of the day, you can't have that, right? A limitation is a limitation. Now, what is boggling is the crosswind limitation. It was straight up exceeded their limitation, and I guess they just didn't finish that conversation, and they never came back to it. But was rudder blanking in the final report? I might have to dig that one up because I feel like maybe rudder blanking. Rudder blanking is where, when you go reverse, if you do too much, it basically washes out and it makes the rudder less effective. It happened to a Delta crew in LaGuardia as well when they landed in the snow, and I remember when that happened. But I'd have to see if that played a role into them slowing down. I mean, they tried hard. That wind for them to not be able to keep it on the runway, well, they didn't have the spoilers. You know, I bet if the spoilers deployed, it would have stayed on the runway just fine. They probably would have done some, you know, Microsoft sliding around. But if those spoilers came up, it probably would have been able to keep it on the runway. We got to watch the Dilda one in LaGuardia. Learn about that. We will, Sam F. When I get live again, we'll do more MD-80 ops. I wanted to do the MD-80 today, but I don't remember how to fly it. It's not that I don't remember how to fly it. I don't remember how to set it up. Like, I don't remember how to launch the client, and then the weights, and then the sim brief, and then what do I do to load it? It's just so dumb. I hate that part of the MD-80. But I love flying it on the sim. So maybe by the time I get internet again, Leonardo will update the airplane. Probably not. But yeah, we got to watch the Delta one. Josh FST, watch it on the big screen. Good deal, man. We wind it back. You can watch the green dot on the big screen. I'm about to go on night shift after sleeping 3 hours from working day, so I know it's hard to keep focus after a long day of working and you're tired. Oh yeah, Aaron. Absolutely. Jake, God bless you and your family in this new chapter. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate you, man. JJ Stevens in the house. Good to see you. Does Green Dot have the Delta L1011? I don't believe so. I don't believe he has the L1011 one, but that one is a classic. Studied that one. Canadian in the house. Good to see you, Canadian. I put up on Discord today's engine start. Ooh, and takeoff for some throwback memories. All right. All right, Canadian. I'll have to take a look at that. Can't wait, man. Let me see here real quick. I need some water. Hold on. Oh yeah, I'll see the video. All right, I'll have to listen to that. Hold on. Oh, someone's down here. Hold up. All right, I'm back. We got to start thinking about our arrival here too. I read about the L1011 came out of maintenance with the O-ring seals and the engines lost over the Atlantic. Just made it back to Miami on engine 2. Ooh, that doesn't sound all that hot either, Dale. All right, enter destination data. Let's go ahead and get some destination data right now as we prepare for the approach, and then I'm going to have to hit the lab real quick because that coffee is going through me. 33-minute delay. Poppycock. Ain't nobody got time for that. Weather request. KDFW. It is hot down here in the basement today, Chad. I'll tell you that. I'm freaking sweating in this cockpit. All right. Next phase, we're going to descend at Mach 2. That looks good. Barrow is 762, I believe, if I still remember that, from 17 Center. Received messages. Here we go. Clear skies. 180 at 18. Gosh, it's always windy in Dallas this time of year. Always. 180 at 18. Gust 27. 10 miles clear. Temperature nice and cool down there. 32 degrees. And the altimeter 2974. We got ourselves a warm front blowing in here. 2974 is set. We'll get our LS push buttons on. TOD will be coming up. If you're on the arrival in front of me, maintain maximum forward speed. I see some lakes. I see some Toledo Bend. I see some Lake Folk. Oh no, Sam Rayburn. I think that's Toledo Bend up there. Let's see where we are. Where's my EFB? Oh, I had to bring my window shade down. Let's see where we are. We're right there. Oh, actually, we are, no, we already passed all of them. They're down south. Stop doing that. I want to move it around here. What do we got? We got, oh, this is, I love these lakes. Tyler, Lake Tyler East, Lake Tyler West. Corsicana, Jackie, Terrell, Texas. We got Lavon. Okay, so that's Fork up there. It's, right, Tawakanee, Ray Hubbard. No, that's Lavon, Ray Hubbard. There we go. Now we know where we are. There's Louisville, Ray Roberts. Good deal. We're going to have a nice approach coming in here. So we already passed. Yeah, we already passed Sam Rayburn. Yeah, Sam Rayburn's down here. We done already passed it. You're beyond your coffee limitation SOPs. I sure am, dude. All right, arrival charts. We're on the Berry. Let's pull that up. I don't think we have any. We have regional approaches on 2502. You know what's cool is I flew with an FO. He now retired. His whole career he was DFW center and approach, and that's pretty neat. And he's like, you know what? I think he had just under 10 years when he got into aviation. He's like, you know what? I can do this. I can fly for 10 more years. I'm gonna go fly. So he had a whole career as an air traffic controller. And then there he was sitting right seat in my airplane, or not my airplane, my crew, my flight attendants. No, I'm not that way. We were just crewed together, and that's pretty cool. He's like, "Oh, the next frequency is going to be 2502, and the next one's going to be 3445, and then the next one's going to be this." I'm like, okay, cool. And he was right. But then he upgraded. He did, I think, 2 years as a captain, and then retired. You're 10 from Barry. Team Vodka, perfect. I'm going to put you guys on the external view here as we take a look at, there's Lake Tyler East and Lake Tyler West. I've caught some big bass. I love this little canal right here. You can run right through there. I think it's a no-wake zone though now, right? You can't. Well, I think that's always been a no-wake zone. Or like a 5-mile-an-hour speed limit. Yeah. I've caught some big fish up in this creek right here. I can see the bass fishing from here, chat. All right, I'm gonna let y'all enjoy as we approach the DFW. Let me hit the loud. Give me 2 minutes. All right, we're back. You're a total redneck at heart. I sure am, dude. I sure am one of them redneck country boy. Let's see. No, I'm a highly educated, educated. All right, so we got a situation developing here. We have someone picking up some dressers, and we have to do pet mitigation. So the dogs are going to be locked in the basement with me here, and you're probably going to hear the PTUs for the last time in a long time, but they're probably going to bark aggressively for a while, so we'll have to take care of that. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish our approach brief. We pretty much have everything done. We're going to do the straight up visual approach. I might give you all a little sightseeing tour over the DFW, and let's zoom it forward 1 hour time wise so we get a little bit more juice. Let's make this one. Let's go out with a bang. Let's run this forward till we'll make it 7:30 right now. So as we're on approach, it's extra juicy. And let's see, we'll get constraint mode on. The bottom of the arrival is 6,000, so 10,000. Let's see here, all the way down. Taxi Dietz at 12. Across Dietz, 210 knots, 12,000 feet. So we will scroll in 12,000 feet here on the Mini FCU. 12,000 is set. And we are just about to start down. There's TOD. We'll push it in. Actually, I pushed it in on the Mini FCU. We're thrust idle, descent. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our arrival. Oh my, let's save that view right there. High tech redneck. There you go, JJ Stevens. What is the FAA about saying about having dogs on the flight deck? Well, probably better than kids. Well, I don't know. You tell me. Would you rather have a dog on the flight deck or a kid on the flight deck? Man, what I would love to do some southern big bass fishing big in Chicago is a baby in Texas. Boo! Yeah, man. I absolutely love. I mean, dude, it's there's nothing like Texas bass fishing, dude. I like I said in one of the other streams, I will never complain about paying a Texas Parks and Wildlife fee, a park fee. I get the yearly pass anyway, or a fishing license. They manage the state of Texas so well, and considering the amount of pressure that the state of Texas gets for fishing, because people come from all over to fish in Texas. But yeah, man, it's wild. When I fished 2 tournaments when I brought my truck over a couple weeks ago, and like I said, I caught more bass and bigger bass in those 2 tournaments than I did my whole year in Georgia. And I didn't do terrible in Georgia. I had a couple of good tournaments out here on the East Coast in Georgia, up at Lake Murray, then over to Chickamauga. I had some good events. I won some money, but I didn't catch a fish that was over 6 pounds. So our first tournament back in Texas, we caught 2 7.8s, 2 7.8, so almost 8 pounders. All right, dogs are out. Got to fly out of DFW on American. You do? You're going out tomorrow, Andre Henry? We're coming into the big DFW, chat. More drag required. You don't say. We'll be fine there, Barry. We'll slow down to 280. How far out are we? Let's practice our first Texas arrival announcement. 104 miles. Coosa River, JJ, Alabama's got some big bass in general, dude. Alabama. I didn't fish much in Bama, unfortunately. I have fished Wedowee. I fished that lake. And then I fished one other small lake. I didn't do all that good. But I know Bama's got big bass. Alabama's got some big bass for sure. I just didn't. The tournaments I fished didn't trail me that direction. Gunnersville, oh yeah, Gunnersville. So JJ, what's interesting, had I have known...
Regional approach, American 500, like to pick up our clearance to Guadalajara, and we're on the ground at DFW.
Wait, why is he talking on... Is he on comp 2? Check your freak. Oh, hold on, the PTU is out, chat. Let me go ahead and settle down my dog real quick. Good boys. Shh. Go outside. Shh. Shh. This is going to be interesting. Wow.
Regional departure, American 500. We're on the ground at DFW at gate Delta 10. Pick up our clearance to Guadalajara.
Let's get the speed brake action out. Oh yeah, here we go. We'll turn up the sim sounds. Eagles are going to miss Georgia. They're going to miss the raccoons, that's for sure. going to unmute my mic here because I just got a text. I haven't read it all the way. I just got a text. So I mentioned my last V1 HQ that I had in Texas. There was no space. I literally just got a text from the landlord. It's so-and-so at blank blank. I'm getting ready to ask one of our tenants in that space if they would like to expand into a space we just remodeled. Was checking to see if you might still be interested in your old space that is now remodeled. The rent is $525. Chat. We might have a V1 HQ lining up already. All right, I gotta get this dog. Locked him outside. ATC, regional approach. 2502. All right, let's go. Hopefully you can't hear him as much now. Well, that's the other one that's inside. 2502.
I cleared Guadalajara via Nealon 6. And
now Holly's going to jump in.
Filed departures with you and Squawk 6240 for American 500.
American 500, read back correct. First starts at your discretion. You can expect 18 left for departure.
Alright, thanks. We'll expect 18 left, American 500.
American 14-0.
We need to see the dog on the
Dallas
dog cam.
Fort Worth.
Maybe Gustavo. I might
Echo Lima, Kilo to the ramp. Cross runway 17 right.
I might put him on the replay cam here.
Kilo to the ramp.
Jeez, I gotta get home.
Right.
My other dog, I locked one outside because he's normally the loudest.
But
now Holly, the little one, is barking. I'm gonna have to throw her outside. I'm gonna send a huge yes back to that Al Loper.
Spirit Wing 446, 200 knots or greater till 5 mile final.
200 or greater till 5.
This is insane. Oh, I got dogs barking. Approach, good afternoon, American 357 out of 16-3, descending via the Berry. We got the weather at DFW.
American 357, regional approach, good evening. Expect visual 17 center.
We'll expect visual 17 center, American 357. All right, let me lock the other one outside.
American 982, that was you, the one on the right side.
Let me know if ATC says anything.
Say again for American 982? Yeah, you wanted the west side?
I was thinking of...
Oh my gosh, this is madness going on, chat. We got madness all over.
American 982 at 4,000, reduced speed to 170.
Is that you saying about had you have known? What do you mean, JJ?
American 2403, just going to maintain 4,000.
People are joining Flightdeck to sim only for his dog.
American 357, just going to maintain 4,000.
Instead of maintain 4,000, American 357. All right, 4,000 is blue. We're thrust out of descent. Hold on, let me get the dog. I'll put him in front of the camera. I'll be right back.
American 22 negative, keep the speed up. Spirit Wing 446 traffic, 10 o'clock and 7 miles. A heavy Airbus on a 15-mile final.
Yeah, we got the traffic 10 o'clock.
Couldn't get him. I opened the door.
Spirit Wing 446, follow the traffic. You're cleared for the visual number 2.
All the traffic there for the visual.
SOL on that one.
American 1567, maintain present heading.
This time you got to set up a mattress and bourbon collection there, though, Sam. I will. This time, I'm going to set up the V1HQ Primo. Like, it's going to be done right, my man. Remodeled and everything. I'm going to just text her back right now.
Spear wing 446, delete the speed.
Deleting the speed, 446.
That could be huge, chat. That could be huge. All right, let's get back to focus. We're descending down to 4,000. We're at 12 or 260. We're going to slow to 210 up at Dietz. We're on the arrival. You've been briefed. I've been briefed. Outside juice. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I pronounce you the greatest America in the United States. We find the doggo approach. The HQ cot lives on. I just can't believe that she texts me right now, Pax, man, because I was saying, like, I sent an email. Was that present heading for us? Was that present heading for us, American 357?
American 357, negative.
Okay, Roger. I just get, because she was the first person I emailed when we decided that we were indeed moving back to Texas, because that office space was the closest possible office space to where we live. It's still about 20 minutes. It's actually closer, well, it's right about the same distance
22 heavy, runway 17 center, land,
that I used to have at the Georgia HQ.
Be appreciated.
But if that one didn't work out, it was going to be kind of like a woof. I don't know where I would go. So the fact that she texts me on stream, on our last stream, looking at the great downtown DFW right there. There's Lake Levon. Caught some big old bass in Lake Levon.
You still want it, runway
Where's that
right?
Hubbard? I'll turn that. See, I haven't been to Texas. I think I was wrong. No, there's
American
Hubbard.
1567, did you want 18 right?
There's Hubbard. Grapevine, which my friend Tom loves. I hate it. That's one of my, I say one of my favorites just because I spent a lot of time on this lake right here. That's Lake Louisville. Here we come. I feel like we need to play the national anthem or something.
Spearwing 446.
Bosco, I don't know, but Texas Emoji's coming up next.
American 1567, turn left heading 200 to join the localizer, clear visual approach.
All right, we're going to select speed 210. We're going to go speed brakes out. We're going to go flaps 1, VFE next minus 10, flaps 1. Slats are coming out. She might be watching. I wish. I mean, I wouldn't mind if she was a fan of the channel. Wink. All right, we're at a 10K. Let's go ahead and get the lights on.
46 final approach speed as soon as you can.
Seatbelt sign is on.
Final approach speed,
Flat down spare for landing. Oh yeah, let's get replay mode up. Ready to go.
1567, you're through the localizer. Turn left heading.
Let's also get
150 to rejoin.
landing cam up. Let's get G's up.
American 982, turn left heading 270, vector speed approach.
She just texted back. She said, "Will do. I think you'll love your new office if it works out." Cam MD80 allegedly, maybe.
Fairwing 446, runway 17 center, clear.
But yes. Let me launch G's. I need my own landing checklist for freaking simming now. Gotta launch G's, gotta put the cams on, gotta reset the source for G's in OBS because it changes every time you launch it. There we go. I'm gonna hide you, done with you, so now you should see it. Yes, you will. Beautiful. I know you're like blowing out with the light there, y'all. I'm sorry. There's not really much I can do.
American 1567, runway 18 right, clear to land.
Not secured yet, Fubar. Not secured yet, but I'll look at traffic landing down there. Because she's going to ask one of the tenant that's in my old office to move to another space that they have. So hopefully they say yes. Sarah R. No, I have not been able to check it out.
American 982, turn left heading 200.
I've seen some content. And I will tell you this, I wasn't that impressed. You're talking about the Flight Factor one, right? From what I've seen from the Flight Factor V2, I have not been very impressed.
American 22 Heavy, welcome to
But
Dallas
I could be
413
in for a
parking.
surprise. All right, chat. We're getting ready to come over to Lake Louisville.
American 22 Heavy, take the next high speed, taxi via Mike Echo Lima Kilo to the ramp, cross runway 17 right at Echo Lima.
Pier 121. Right? Is this 121? No, 121. I forget. Man, it's been, I don't remember which one 121 is.
American 24.
I'll give y'all a secret
03.
spot. You want to know where some
American
giant
357,
bass
you want
live?
the 17 center as well?
Oh yeah, we like 17 Center for American 357.
You're at it.
There's a little creek up here. It's called Red Barn Creek because there's a big red barn on it near the golf course. It might be this one depicted here, but I think it's this tiny one here.
American 24.
And it's got some
03,
big
traffic
old bass in
adventure,
there.
10 o'clock and 7 miles in Airbus.
Caught a lot of fish
southbound.
up on in this marina here, and then you come around behind the marina. You can get way back up here and fish. Good spot.
American 24.
There's always fish on the dam. Little Elm used to live over there, so I used to live. Oh, there's the speed limit. Kill the speed limit. Appreciate you. Thank you, American
American
1407.
982, 180 knots or greater to 5 mile final, please.
Greenery in Texas. I thought it was all bouncing bushes and cowboys and dusty towns. No, it's actually pretty green.
03, reduce speed to 170.
Lake Louisville Dam here. I've caught so many fish on this dam. So many
American
fish, dude.
357, reduce speed to 170 knots.
So on a 170, American 357. So on a 170. So my good friend, my fishing partner, he actually lives like right here. I'm gonna dox him. His house is literally,
I promise I'm not trying to overhandle y'all. I'm just trying to keep y'all
he's
safe.
literally like, I think like right here. Like his house is like right there. That's my fishing partner. I used to live out here in Grapevine, over here, and then I used to live in Corinth, Texas,
Freeway
which
446, take the next high speed right.
is like over
Mike Echo Lima
here.
Kilo to the ramp, cross
And then I
runway
lived in
17
Little
right at
Elm.
Echo Lima.
When I started the V1HQ chat, we're gonna fly over my house where I started. I started the channel, and I used to live like right here. We might actually see the house. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong. Am I looking at the wrong one? No, because this is Little Elm right here. So yeah, my house when I started the V1HQ, it's like right over here.
American 24-0.
Now we live way, way up
Hitting,
north.
250.
We're VFE Next minus 10 though. Let's go ahead and flaps 2. Enough touring of DFW.
American 357 traffic, 12 o'clock and 5 miles, an Airbus.
We're looking American 357. Don't see him yet. Oh, traffic inside American 357. There he is,
American
right there.
357, you're going to follow the company traffic. You're cleared for the visual 17 center.
All right, we'll follow the traffic. Cleared visual 17 center, American 357. All right, we'll give him some time. That'll give us some more time to look at our old house.
Turn around left.
So literally, so I come across here, drive this road. Yeah, that's my old house, chat. Right there. Right where my cursor is. Now, none of this was really built up yet. Literally, my house is right there. Actually, no, I lied. It's right here. Yeah, right there. Because those are the polo fields. But this area is completely different now. And that house had fiber, Sam. That house had fiber. We're getting gusty winds up here, though. All right, I can see him. Let's go ahead and make a little dog leg here to final. Let's go heading. Little dog leg to the left here. This is 380. This is the never drive on road in North. If you're ever in Texas and you're ever just trying to figure out where you're going and your Google Maps or your Apple Maps tells you to take 380, just say no, okay? Just say no. You know, like that used to be a slogan, just say no to drugs. Just say no to 380, okay? Don't get on 380, never drive on it. You're gonna hate yourself. I'm gonna go ahead, let's see where that traffic is though. He's just turned inside of us. We'll go ahead and we'll make a base turn here. I'll actually slow to 160 so we can enjoy this approach a little bit longer. We're 160 on the speed, making a base turn.
And American 357 traffic ahead of you is indicating 160 knots.
Copy that. Traffic inside. We're going to go ahead and start reducing American 357. All right, we see him. We're slowing down. We're going to shoot a line off Bossy. Let's go direct to Bossy. 357. Check. Insert. Boom. Select heading. Oh, we are looking good. Let's go flaps 3 out of sequence. We get some extra juice here.
1567, Roger, got you on the high speed there. Golf 8, golf to the ramp. Cross runway 18 left, golf 8.
18 left. 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 18 l Nice crosswind, 23 knots. All right, let's go ahead and set up at 240 heading. Boss sees at 6. We're at 4. Let's arm the approach. We're on the visual. AP 1+2. Lights are set. Stephen Hayter, thank you so much for the 24 months of support, my man. I appreciate you. Says, hola, compadres. Just checking in real quick to say good luck on the move. Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
2403, room 17 center, clear to land.
Thanks for checking in. Thanks for the 2 years of support. All right, so we're going up the west side of Louisville. I've been up this creek. I went one time I was like, I'm going to go all the way up there. Entered in this creek, drove my boat all the way up here, and then I got stuck in a log jam right about up here. Didn't quite make it to the 380. But the lake got really high, and I took my boat all the way in this creek. Joining the localizer. North, this is Ray Roberts. The wife and I got married right over here on this little island, like peninsula thing. We got married up there on Ray Roberts Lake. And my current house is way north of this, up towards the border. All right, Loke Star, glide slope blue. 17.
Flight level 200, descending rear the beer to arrival.
17 center, clear to land, American 357. All right, we're clear to land, chat. Recording is on.
Squawk 4465, American 2091.
0465.
0465 for 2091.
Can we see Buc-ee's? So 35 is a highway, comes up. Not really loaded in, we're still kind of far away. There's a Buc-ee's.
Radar contact.
I don't think it's there. I think it's like right over here somewhere. Buc-ee's in Denton, Texas. Oh man, look at the wind blowing on the lake though down there. That's so cool. Oh yeah, you'll get a real good view here of the origins of this channel. So come around here, drive up, and it was, yeah, you come down this road.
Runway 18 left.
I can't zoom in on it any further.
Way left, golf,
but like,
whiskey golf, American
that's
5.
pretty much my old house right there where the channel was started. Right there. Yeah, because that wasn't there, so this was there. Those houses weren't there yet.
Speed till 5 mile final.
Redneck Mecca. Dude, don't you, Steven? Hey. Buc-ee's is life, my man. I'm going to own one. Dude. One of these days, I'm going to buy a Buc-ee's. Be the, like, with like a franchise it.
American 982, welcome to Dallas Fort Worth. You going to Alpha?
No worries, DFW spotter. Back just in time. Those work calls just ruined my evening, but catching the tail end of B1 stream always makes streaming better. Matty K, welcome back, man. AOA looks a little high. We're doing 160. That's why we're level flight. 141,000 pounds, right below max. Well, jeez. Max landing. We got gusty winds. Should we increase our juice here? 140? Nah, we'll keep it 140. We got a long replay. We didn't need to make it that long. Let's hand fly this approach, shall we? Or should we continue looking at juice? Let's see if we can find my old house. So my old house. Come up 35. There's Corinth. Yeah, there's my old house. My first house I ever owned was in this neighborhood right here. Right there. That's crazy. Yeah, because you drive right through here. This is like some musical school thing. Very cool. Very cool.
American 367, I appreciate your patience. You're at the end of the Congo line back there.
Hey, no worries, man. We appreciate your ATC. All right, glide slope is star. Gear down, chat. Spoilers armed. Oh, gear's coming down. Every Texan love Buc-ee's? Heck yeah, man. If you don't love Buc-ee's, you're not a Texan. Period. Full stop. So I moved back on Wednesday. I fished a tournament Thursday night, and I'm going to be launching at this marina. I'm actually going to be launching at this boat ramp right here. If you want to know where I'm going to be, Thursday night, right there, that boat ramp. All right. Let's hand fly. Autopilot is off. I'm a pilot or realtor. Sorry. That was the most non-flight sim approach that we've ever done. I apologize. I just get excited. Back to my homeland. Back to my home country. Delta Tango, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you and your channel, Captain. Delta Tango, I appreciate your support on this channel, my man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel here. 1.2 G full manual, says Team Vodka. All right. What was the feet per minute? me the feet per minute associated with it, Team Vodka. I know I won't judge by the foot per minute. 1.2 is pretty good. You want to go full manual? Let me make sure my stick is tight. My stick is tight. Let's go full manual, chat. Let's go. Flight director's off. Give me the bird. Manage the speed. Auto thrust is coming off. Gear is down. Let's go flaps full. Landing checklist. Birds on. 297 from G's from Team Vodka. All right, we got to beat 297 for Team Vodka. Attack foam is secured. Attack foam is secured, AJ. Attack foam secured. 17 center in sight. We configured way early. Bass Pro Shops right over here. If you want to go to Bass Pro Shops.
When they left their takeoff, American 5.
I was like, why is our speed so slow? Forgot I turned the auto thrust off. Can I get some power, please? Can I get some power, please? That'd be great. Vodka says it's going to be a smasher. I'm due for a smasher because we absolutely greased it. Vodka. We had what did we have in Burbank yesterday, guys? Do you remember? Vodka, you need to go back. Just watch the Burbank landing on yesterday's Airbus stream. I think it was my personal best Burbank landing. I mean, we just rolled it on, dude. The tires barely even smoked. Airbus pilot moments. Why is my speed so slow? The winds look right down the pipe, though. Because I should have just stayed right on the center line there. Was it 41 or 82? Yeah, whatever it was freaking juicy in Burbank. But we also smashed it into San Diego. Not smashed it, but we were late. Late flare in San Diego. This one, we're going to float it out. We're going to float this one out for the butter, chat. Team Vodka says winds are going to shift to slightly from the right upon landing.
2403, welcome to Dallas Fort Worth. You parking at Alpha.
We'll expect that. Right now, it's slightly out of the left at a 160, 166 at 26.
2403,
Our ground speed mini is working. You can see that. We're doing 150 on the ground speed mini. Ground speed is 136. There's the mothership. Oh, Mysterious Mr. T, thank you so much for the super chat. Sending my blessings to this landing. Let it not be a slammer. Besides that, good luck with the move. Hey, Mysterious Mr. T, appreciate you. Thank you for contributing to the non-sterile cockpit environment here on landing. I gotta stop reading chat. Appreciate you, though, Mysterious Mr. T.
At a 1.4, climbing speed is
Yeah, the train is still off at DFW, don't worry. And the airport's still not awesome.
17,000 American 5.
McShiggity pilot, good to see you, man. You flew into Kern Valley? That's awesome, man. You're going to need some repairs. Hey, we'll get that Duke fixed up and get back in the air, man. Give it another shot. I love that Duke. We're going to have a Kern Valley fly-in probably monthly once we reestablish the V1 HQ. All right, yeah, the wind is shifting. Now it's 170. Came straight onto the nose now. Well, that was actually a nice little gust. It even blew us up a little bit. You see that? Correct here on the slope. Ooh, now it's going to shift to the right. Sync rate check.
Breaking 429, hold short landing traffic.
4. 300. 100 above.
Landing. A little low, correcting. I'm coming in a little low because I want to float it out for the butter. That guy's moving awfully fast. Let me hold short.
Minimum.
Oh yeah, 180 on the wind now. You can see that. I got to correct to the right. It's shifty down
100.
here. Shifty on the winds. Oh, look at that runway texture.
50.
Look at that runway texture, y'all.
30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
1.1 G. We'll take it. Still beat vodka on the G.
All right, runway
316 on the feet per minute. Look at the runway texture. God bless Texas.
Left, American 2101.
American 429, 17 center line up away.
Oh, it might be a DirectX 12 lead. I don't know. Yeah, I don't trust the feet per minute. It's all about the G's, y'all. It's all about the G's.
American 357, welcome to Dallas Fort Worth. Take the next high speed taxi to the Alpha Terminal. Echo Lima, kilo to the ramp. Cross runway 17 right at Echo Lima.
Echo Lima, kilo to the ramp. Cleared across 17 right at Echo Lima. Thanks for the ATC, American 357. We'll see it.
See it.
All right, we're going straight across Echo Lima. We're not going to configure. Yeah, I was distracted by the potato textures.
All right, American 429,
One-
RNAV
1.1. I'll take a 1.1 G, y'all. We'll assess the foot per minute in the replay. But as long as your G is, 1.2, 1.1, 1.3 is kind of like, okay, that's a little bit firm. That's what you really want to be careful of. Not careful of, but that's what, in my experience, if you're a member of the Discord, I've been posting the real-world landing rates of the Airbus, and I've had multiple reports show a lesser feet per minute, but it was or I've had them show a greater foot per minute. I forget where we're going. Echo Lima Kilo to Alpha terminal, which will be to our right. Stow the speed brakes. We'll bring the flaps up. We'll just follow that guy. Rahul, see, I don't. So a 1.2 at 450 feet per minute. I think there's some. I don't think that that's properly recording data, because the figures that I've seen, the real airplane print, have been nowhere near that high a foot per minute. But I've had G loadings that are less, if that makes sense. So it's weird. If you're using Gs, which I think does a fair representation of the G load, then don't beat yourself up on the feet per minute. Just focus on the G load.
You're climbing out of my airspace. Fort Worth Center is
Aviator Nick dropped a $20 super chat. Aviator Nick, appreciate you. Welcome to DFW. All the best for the move back to Texas. Hope all goes smoothly. Looking forward to catching you live once the V1 HQ is back up and running. Aviator Nick, fingers crossed it works out, man. It looks like we have at least a good lead right now, which is absolutely fantastic. But thank you so much, Aviator Nick, for the support. Very kind of you. And you have a wonderful rest of your week. Nice strokes. Damn it, to Gus. They're an auto now. Piss off, Gus. AJ Funari, thanks for the $3 super chat. Is this when you tell X-Plane graphics suck? Well, I'm in X-Plane. Couldn't you tell, AJ? This is X-Plane. This is actually X-Plane. This is why I said I was going to fly X-Plane. Alright, we need a Dallas scenery. Let's go in here, because this just looks cinematic. I think this is the Charlie gates. So, we're going to just cut in here. This is all closed right now to construction anyway. Oh good, I split the line. There was a 737 that took out a light post right here.
American 2291, turn left heading 200.
We got the Skylink up there?
Visual approach, 17 center.
I'm not cutting 200, going the right up to
We're not going to shut it down, chat, because I need to get right back into loading at 7 o'clock. I got a lot of work to do yet. So we're not going to shut down. We're just going to go right to replay mode. And we're going to send it off. I think that's a Skylink right there. That's a car. Man, any builds. Where are you at for the feds will see us? Make sure you put your shades down. Where are you at, any builds for DFW? I feel like after you guys dropped Detroit, I just got a vibe that they could crush at Dallas Fort Worth. I don't know why. I really like their Detroit scenery. And that Milwaukee one that we did the other day. That freeware Milwaukee is freaking nice. Alpha 30. Oh, we did make it to Alpha. 836. Good. Why are the cars jumping on the ramp? Because they're excited to see me, Vladimir. RP Gamerist, take it easy, man. Have a good night. I spent a lot of time at Charlie 28 when my plane was delayed, AA, from 6 to 12:30 a.m. Oof, Tyson, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sounds like a crew rest issue right there. 6-hour delay.
American 2291, wind 18014, just 2 tree, runway 17 center, clear to land.
17 center, clear to land.
American 429, you're climbing out of my airspace. Fort Worth Center is offline.
Oh, I can't steer from there. Shoot. I was trying to get all fancy with the cameras. Alright, let's just park. Perfect. A little short, she said. Alright. Let's get in here. Let's do the replay. Let's see if there's any Americans out there. How many Americans we still got out here? Anybody? Uh-oh, now I can't even reset my camera. That's not good. Insert. Reset. That's going to be interesting. Fix that. All right. Replay cam is up. Disconnecting from VATSIM. Sails paused. Replay engage. On final, let's let it load in. Let's get our flaps in. Oh, that's a cool shot right there. Ooh, lights coming out. That's so cool. First time flying with you tonight. Hope I did well. Sean, fantastic. Thank you for flying with us on our way back to Texas, man. Oh, look, crappy camera system. AJ, get me some Orbix and X-Plane 12, dude, and I'll fly it, man. I don't care. Get me an Orbix something compatible with 12, and I will fly an X-Plane stream. I promise you. Orbix needs to release some great United States or whatever. They did a Great Britain. They did the Portland. Just get me that for X-Plane 12. And I'll be all over. Good luck and best wishes and for your move back to Texas. Keep the still blue side up. McShiggity Pilot, cheers to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, McShiggity Pilot. Enjoy flying that Duke around. Get the thing repaired and get back in the air. Because get ready for it. We're going to have a Kern Valley fly-in, McShiggity Pilot. We're going to have another one. I'd like you to take part. I am woefully uninformed. How long have you been back on... Oh, no, it's Hiveo Premium. Fireflyer, thank you so much for the support. Take it easy. I'll see you soon. I heard FS Expo is going to display X-Plane in their historic museum this year. Could you explain the use of runway turnoff lights? Is it on before taxi runway? Okay, based on... It's all SOP, Nash, for the most part. I use the turnoff... Well, for landing, takeoff, they're all on. I'll use the turnoff lights when taxiing if I'm making a turn onto a service road that's very busy. Think Atlanta when you come from the Victor Loop or something and you're getting ready to turn onto those very busy ramps. I'll hit that turnoff light, so it's kind of like a blinker because it kind of shoots out at a 45 degree. So if anybody's thinking about cutting across the service road, it'll get their attention. But generally, that's really just for use on the runway. Helps you see the turnoff of the runway easier because the light is directed out 45 degrees. There's Lake Grapevine in the background. One time this lake was so, it was so low I could walk out to that island. But when I first had my dog that you heard barking, we actually took him out there on the boat and we just let him run around on that island because he didn't have to have a leash on. And then he found a dead fish and he rolled in it, and it was the worst smell ever. We took him back to the apartment and we had to give him a tomato bath. Then he was eating the tomato sauce in the tomato bath, and it was just a mess. Fun story for you. Love the Victor Loop. I have a video I should upload. Do it, Josh. John says, thanks for all these great streams. You're a legend. I'll be waiting patiently for the next live tailwinds on the trip back to Dallas. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, man. Does the Duke have brake wear? I definitely shredded the brakes at Kern. You might need to check it out. You might need to check them out. I know, Gustavo, I couldn't grab him, man. He just ran away. You scared him. He's like, I heard that Brazilian's in chat. I don't want to be put on a stick and rotisserie. So he ran away. Oh, just listen to the sounds. Sam F, thank you, sir. Take it easy. I'll save some for you, man. Hey, Sam, you're going to have to hit me up if you've ever been in Dallas now. Oh, yeah, landing an X-plane. I'll tell you, it didn't seem hard from this, but sounds can be deceiving. So let's look outside. Waiting for the day you fly to Vienna? Ooh, we'll have to do that, Ryan. Dog cam when I get in the new V1 HQ? We'll have to see, Flight Sim guy. Oh, yeah, that's pretty hard. That one actually popped up and said 1.2G. That one said 1.2G. I just needed more flare. 100%. I just said welcome. I just so excited. Yeah, you can see here. I just need more flare. I'm not really flaring. I need more flare. Maybe I should get the... Maybe I should go linear again. Good pitch attitude. I just needed more of it. We settled down. That one said 1.19 G. So yeah, it's close to that 1.2 G. I don't know if that's 300. It said, what, 375 on our first one? I don't know if that's 375. That's almost 4. I mean, maybe. I mean, it compressed them. In time for juicy replays. In time for a juicy smasher. All right. That's going to do it. That's going to do it. You can watch a lovely landing into DF. Oh my gosh, that looks real right there, though. AJ. That ain't no X-plane, my man. That is a real shot. All right. It's time to pack up the sim. We can't do another Duke stream. Can't do another Duke flight because I got to pack it up. With y'all, I've had fun. Georgia. I'll miss some of the people I met, that's for sure. But this is an end of an era. It was a shorter era. This era lasted almost a year exactly. Almost exactly, you know. Almost in a month. Actually to the month, a year exactly. Wow. I don't know when the next live will be. I can't make any promises, but one thing that I will promise is that I'm going to do everything I can to get a new HQ locked and loaded so we can be back live. I'll be in the Discord. I'll be uploading some recorded content, so I'll be around. Make sure you hop in the Discord on Wednesday if you're bored. I'll jump into the voice channel if I'm in the middle of nowhere, and we'll have a chat. But until the next one, y'all, stay safe, stay healthy, keep the blue side up, buy the Duke if you haven't already, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you.